All right, and we are up and running. My name is Rob, aka Lantern Noir, and tonight we are playing some serious Dungeons and Dragons with four of the most amazing people that I know in this world, or perhaps multiple dimensions. It's always a little give or take if we all actually exist in the same reality, or are we all simply connected through Twitch, which is entirely possible. Um, Tonight we're going to be playing an original campaign. We're all starting at first level. And I did not get a chance to get the character scroll put together, but we're going to do our best to let you know who we are at the top, and we're happy to remind you as we go along. But the most important thing to do, though, before I spend any serious time talking about myself, is to let the players introduce themselves, where we might find them, and all their other amazing creative endeavors, and who they're going to be tonight. So with our general round robin of introductions, Barely Molly, you go first.
Hi everybody, my name is Bear or Molly or Barely Molly. If you hear a crying dog tonight, my dog is very upset, so I will be on mute a lot. But tonight I am playing Winnie, a furball druid, or is she? She's always disguised as a human. And she gives off the best grandma vibes. So we're here for it. We got our cross stitch ready, we got our embroidery ready, we're ready to go.
Oh, cool. And then Pond.
Hi everyone, I'm Pond, also known as That Other Pond. You can find me over at Twitch under that name. I'm a variety streamer. You can find me on Fridays, Sundays, and Mondays. And I will be playing Sierra, who is an Earth Genasi Ranger. She really likes adventure and getting into a little bit of trouble and stressing everyone else out.
And then coming around, Tiffany.
Hi there, I'm Tiffany. You will see me on other channels with Rob. It's pretty much I'm just on Rob's. I am playing Mad Moira, or just Moira the Mad, or Moira. She's trying to leave her past behind a little bit, not very good at it. I am playing a fairy bard who used to be a pirate, so she's trying to turn over a new loot, as it were. And we'll see how well that works. So stay tuned.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJS282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends. Today I'm playing Linton Rumblepot, who is a halfling paladin, and he's gonna give you some down... No, that's not how you say it. It's gonna be some good cooking. Yeah, let's do it.
I think I know where you were going, and I think I understand your confusion. And the best part about, and this is something I find very fascinating, someone did a poll on Twitter, what percentage of your game is homebrewed? And the vast majority of votes were 2/3 or more. And I kept thinking, well, yeah, where are the halflings from? I don't know. What will be interesting? What does our halfling shire look like? Perhaps it is a bayou. That would be a take. Anyway. My name is Rob, aka Lantern Noir. I play everybody else. And I'm here doing D&D content Wednesday nights, Sunday nights, monthly on Saturdays. The 14th, we are back with our Candlekeep game, which Tiffany will be joining me, and there will also be Lenarius, Jesse, and Molly. Well, I'll be back for that game, and so we get to get that group together again, which is Trey awesome. And then I would be remiss not to mention that you should also check out the Inverse Genius family of content at inversegenius.com. There's a huge, massive collection of content creators on all platforms, all of whom are epically awesome. Or if I were to fail to mention Sweet Steam, one of our sponsors, the links are down below. And if you use the code Steam Noir, you get 5% off a purchase of high quality artisan steampunk inspired chocolates. And I will say not too much more about that because they don't pay me to do full commercials. But I will say they pack their shipments of chocolate in ice during the summer months. So it's guaranteed to work. You're fine, Tiffany. Don't worry about it. I don't remember either. So if I forgot what I asked you to remind me of, it's probably fine. And
I have it on a different sheet of paper, I'm sure.
Nobody overthink that. Favorite bit of history, and then I swear we'll start the game. There is an actual recovered letter from the American Revolution, written by a British officer to another British officer. He concludes the letter with, "If this letter should miscarry in transit and you fail to receive it, write to me straight away so that I may draft you a second copy." Yep. Yeah. There's a reason they lost to a bunch of farmers with shotguns. Just saying.
That's just not how any of that works.
Oh. And thank you to somebody. That is really kind. It's a great way to start the evening off before we even get rolling. And it's a chance to remind everybody that as this group goes through the adventure this week and subsequent weeks, they have the opportunity to twist their fate by turning to the Book of Fate and grabbing a chapter out of it. Each chapter is 100 pages, and each bit donated to the stream adds a page to the book. So you guys are in good shape to start the night off as soon as the little overlay updates. And you always start with 200 in the book just to start you off on the week, because I always overstock my encounters with way more than you can handle. So no reason to be stressed there.
Do we talk about are we only doing the 2 rerolls?
1 reroll per
Thank you.
attempt. You're capped at 1. There is a channel point reward that is also, I think, on a 15-minute cooldown that will also allow for a reroll 1 time. So just to kind of keep the game going, because there was that one night where I think it took us 45 minutes to get through a persuasion check, because we had channel point rewards and we had cheering and we had re-rolling and then we had more cheering, and then I don't think I've ever seen any group so dedicated to seeing a bard pull off a persuasion check in my life.
You just have such nice people viewing, that's all.
I would also point out that after 45 minutes of re-rolling, Jesse still had not succeeded.
Yeah, it was a bad night.
That's the painful part.
It was not meant to happen.
Speaking of things that were meant to happen, the 4 of you, as young, starting fresh-ish, youngish. Okay, let me just. Dave, welcome. I appreciate your sense of entrance. The professor never fails to simply just appreciate you having here, man. Just totally appreciate that. And that would also be why we have a cap on how many rerolls. So it's good to have you hanging out here. As new adventurers in this particular neck of the woods, the 4 of you have gaggled together with a few adventures under your belts. You've explored perhaps a old ancient mine, nothing too serious, mostly jumping at shadows, perhaps cleared out a warehouse of very large rats and sold their tails for money. Other small jobs, things to get yourselves noticed, and with a harsh realization that an adventuring life is not the easiest one in any kind of stable economy. I have a paper on that I'm submitting to a few journals next week, so worry about that when we get to it. You have agreed, though, to meet up at the Broken Axle Inn because there's a word of a gentleman looking to hire a band of individuals of particular talents. As you make your way down the street towards the tavern together, it's almost as if the commoners know you're coming and part for your passing, so that the 4 of you may walk abreast down the thoroughfare in slow motion, no less. Out of curiosity, and just to kind of lay some foundation, I'd love if you could tell us a little bit about what each of the characters looks like to help set this particular scene. And we're going to round the other way. RJ, can you tell us a little bit about Linton's, what we're looking at as the camera pans over Linton?
It pans over the rest of the party and then immediately straight down, because Linton is a halfling. They are currently wearing Their chainmail armor on his back is a blackened walk that he uses as a shield. Um, he's got a side satchel, this flaming red hair that comes up into a faux hawk, um, really nice green eyes. Uh, there's a bit of spring in his step for new adventure. He's excited.
I'll actually submit that the camera just pans like off from the side onto Linton and just sort of continues right on to Moira.
Okay, so I'm fluttering along. I am a fairy. My skin is very the color of an acorn because she's been at sea for so long before taking this new adventure. Lots of maybe glittery tattoos, bluish green dreadlocked hair, butterfly wings that are in blues and purples. She's got a tricorned pirate hat on, the big puffy pants, and just a mostly white crop top kind of thing, and a blue captain's coat that she wears sometimes, especially cut to go around her wings. And she's got panpipes at the ready in her pocket. That's, various other things about. But that's pretty much it.
So the camera's going to pan over right into the waist and knees of the Earth Genasi Ranger. But before we get that introduction, I'm going to point out for the rules lawyers at home, Tiffany is playing a homebrewed race of fairies, so nobody jump in the chat to tell me I'm doing it wrong. Just saying. I don't even like races that fly, and we worked out a compromise. Just saying. So, Pond, what are we looking at when the camera pans up from Sierra's bottom half?
It pans up quite a lot. Sarah is 5'10", so quite taller than the rest of the party as they appear. And she has kind of a earthy grayish skin, being an Earth Genasi, and long black hair that's tied up into a braid so it doesn't get in her face when she's running around. Very practical clothing, lots of leather from her experience in the woods, and just making sure she's comfortable after being on the sea as well. And she has a very nice bow on her back, as well as a bundle of arrows.
Now, the big wild card, what do we get with Winnie today?
You just pan over and it's a 5'2" human, deep, little plump, deep skin with patches of vitiligo across her. So there's little patches of kind of nude white. And her hair is a mop of like knotted bun with like messy curls that kind of go in front of her eyes. She's wearing a little apron with embroidered little flowers around it, and does not look like the adventuring type, and has her staff that very much so more looks like an old lady's walking stick with like little doily wrapped around it and little lace, and just trotting after the rest of the group.
Okay. And for those wondering, I did just update the overlay to indicate that we have a human druid in the party. Sort of.
As far as you know.
Okay, I'll keep that folder handy in case I gotta get back into it later. But okay, you make your way down the main street, turn the corner, and then as you come up the block, past a few more market stalls, you realize quickly that there's been an incident recently where the broken axle once stood is a very large pile of smoldering wood. The hearth remains fully intact, extending the full height of the building, but otherwise every bit of woodwork is disintegrated, charred, or some combination thereof. It's as though a wild mage had let off a 4th level fireball in the dead center of the building.
Well, that's a good way to get attention.
Our job wasn't in there, right? Right? Hopefully
Hopefully
they got
not.
out so we can still get our stuff.
Did it? Does it look like it just happened? Like,
Based on the level of destruction and the light whiffs of smoke you see wafting off of bits, it probably blew up sometime last night. Fortunately, you weren't staying there. This was just where you were supposed to meet the contact to possibly hire on for whatever interesting adventure he had planned. As you stand there considering this, Sarah will feel a poke in her hip. And
The hell?
glancing down, you spot a stout woman, about the size, a little bit taller than Linton, and about 3 times as broad. Ah, classy, can you hold this up there against the wood for me? And she has a parchment in one hand and is pointing up at one of the remaining, what would have been a load-bearing bit of wood that still stands, shockingly.
I unravel the parchment just to see what it says before I put it up there. Like,
In bold letters, it declares that it is seeking. Okay. Seeking adventurers and sell swords for a caravan. Pay to be negotiated.
well, I will not put this up for you because you found I'm an we're adventurers, and I can gesture to the rest of the group. And we would like to be hired for something. What is this?
She takes one. You lot? Nah, I cannot just take the first 4 people I see on the street.
Excuse me. We are well renowned in town for a rat infestation that happened. And it was very nasty. Let me tell you. We don't play around.
And how many rats do you think my caravan's going to be finding out on the open road? Could you just hold the sign up there a bit, lassie, and let me nail it in?
And Sierra kind of looks to everyone, like being like, come, please.
is he talking about tall rats that you're going to have to fight, or the rats that are going after your food? Because, that changes the numbers.
I heard that there's were-rats on the roads too nowadays. Isn't that just something?
Well, I think those count as 4 to 6 of the normal rats, right? So that's going to up our price.
If y'all be thinking that we're going to be finding ourselves facing were-rats, I'm thinking myself, I need to be hiring much better than the likes of you for.
Oh, I don't know about that. We're the best adventurers this town has ever seen. I'm so proud of these kids and all they've accomplished.
A proud flutter of the wings and strike a pose. Then I'm going to take out the little panpipes and start playing a little like adventure, like aren't they beautiful tune.
Right. How about this? You put the sign up like I asked, and we see you show up in the morning. We'll see who else be signing up to work.
All right, fair deal. And I hold the sign up.
She takes out a maul and kind of keeps pointing it up so that she can overhand smash the nail into place. It only takes her like a swing and a half. And then she kind of makes her way down the road. And you can hear, like, probably a half a block down, "Aye, Claude, can you do me a favor? Hold this up there against that bit of wood."
She's putting up a lot of signs.
Maybe we should walk behind and pull the signs down.
I think that's a genius idea.
You mean like this? I'm gonna fly up and just pull it down. Whoops! It fell. Shove it
There
in my
is-
Oh
pocket.
darn.
The sound of chainmail clanking as Lynn crosses his arms. Hey, that's not nice or fair.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it back up and try and stack it against the wall. Stick it up.
But wouldn't the fairest thing be for her to get the best adventures possible? And that's us. That's you, Linton. It's you. It's me. It's all of us. Come on.
Well, all
You
I'm
know.
saying is, it is at her discretion to employ whoever she wants to employ. Who are we to intrude? Not to be the stick in the mud. But yeah, work is nice, but I don't know. I feel kind of pushy.
You think we should come across it with that honesty thing, huh?
It's the best policy.
That begs to differ. Sure. We haven't tried it yet. Let's.
You know what people love? Fresh baked cookies. We could bring some cookies tomorrow when we reintroduce ourselves and talk. I think that's a great idea. I have a little tin in my backpack. We could set out a nice spread. It'll be great.
Well,
Oh, I
make
think I have a
sure
recipe from Linton in my little journal here. Let me.
you
uh,
kept note.
Of course. I mean, I can't read my. We might need to go over it again. It's a little sloppy here, but
Also, Winnie, darling, you better make sure you set out the cookies and not the sewing supplies. They're both in the blue circular tins.
Yes, they're both in the same tin. All the needles are loose with the cookies. Chew carefully, dears.
They both say ye old butter biscuits.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put out there, if anyone ever wonders, just sometime remind me about this particular moment in D&D when you redeem the story time channel redemption, not on D&D, because I have a whole story about, quote, chew carefully. Yeah, tonight's not the night for it.
Is there any type of, would I know if there's like or would we know if there's another inn or tavern that we can go to for the night?
The city you're in is large enough. The city you're in is large enough that you can easily find other lodging for the night. That works out just fine. The good news about the Broken Axle is it was more of a tavern than an inn. It had a couple of rooms, but for the most part, it was where adventurers met up to head out, to look for contracts, swap stories.
Yeah, I was thinking if whatever the second inn is, if maybe they have a tavern, we could ask about what happened yesterday. Maybe get some clues.
Absolutely. Now, you find your way down to the Unicorn and Sickle. At least you think that's what it's called. It might also be the Crescent and the Unicorn. The artwork on the shingle is not the best. But there's definitely a horse with either a protrusion, a broken bone, or something, and something roughly curve shaped. Be nice if more people could read, because then they put the words there. But yeah, then you can easily book yourself lodging for the night. Out of curiosity, whom are you hoping to find to inquire with?
Are there other adventure-looking folk, or maybe have we ever been to the other tavern? The
It's
Broken Axle?
No, you had not been to the Broken Axle before.
Oh.
Not since you got into this town.
Or maybe just local-looking people. They'd probably have an idea.
So are you thinking you would try to, are you hoping to talk to another sellsword, or are you seeking out common people, or tell me who you want to talk to?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
How about somebody that looks like they're crying that might have belonged to the other inn, or that they're in shock about what happened, and whoever's around them might have a good story.
Or the person selling the drinks, because they definitely live here. They would
That's
definitely
true.
know.
You make your way over to the bar, and you notice there's a young woman who is probably, I mean, she's tall enough that she can see over the bar, facilitated by the fact that she's perched on a stool, but her feet don't make it to the ground, who just has a pitcher next to her and is just like holding this tankard, and the barkeep isn't letting it go empty. Like, she'll take a good pull of it and set it down, and then a second pull and set it down, and then he'll just walk by, top it, and then walk back to do other things. Her hair's an absolute mess. You can't even really see her face through all of it. You glance over at one of the other patrons. He catches it. You walk in. Yeah, that's young Steffa. Her da used to own the Broken Axle. If you're hoping to hear what happened, you might be able to get her to tell you.
You think she wouldn't be too upset about it? She'd be willing to talk to us?
That'd be the most she's talked in the last 12 hours, I suppose.
I'm gonna buy a beer from the innkeep and go over and flutter over and sit by her.
Okay.
You just hear this humming.
Yes.
An annoying big bee, aren't I?
Kinda. And again, it depends. How much do you want to fly? Because you sound like a really big bee.
Probably the drunker we get, the less I want to fly.
Which, well timed, by the way. Let's top off. Make sure we can get through night's talking. We appreciate every hydrate reminder. Which I did not do sufficiently today. I had 8 hours of in-service. Oh, I have another whole day tomorrow. Fortunately, I sat so they couldn't see my laptop, but I could prep for tonight while we were supposed to be learning about assessment strategies. Shh. That's just between us.
Secret.
Probably shouldn't have broadcast that live on Twitch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a good way to know who's in your audience.
No kidding. I'm not sure if I'd be ecstatic or horrified if I get a note from the superintendent tomorrow.
Oh, you'd be ecstatic.
Anyway, you sit down next to her, and there's a slight motion where it looks like she looked over at you, and then she takes another pull of her beer.
I was gonna match it and take a pull. Sorry to hear about your tavern.
She whispers, "Thank you."
Would you like to talk about it?
Not much to talk about.
Maybe if you talk about it, we can help.
Takes another drink,
I'll match it.
and when she puts it down, she kind of slides a little bit to the side, and the barkeep walks over, kind of walks over, tops it, goes back to what he was doing. It was just, there were a couple of people there that were hoping to get hired out, and they got into an argument with another group that wanted to get hired out, and then they started trading blows, and then weapons were drawn, and then the magic started to fly, and then one of them did something, and then she just exploded. This massive ball of fire. I was in the kitchen.
Dear.
What did these adventurers look like?
I didn't get a good look at all of them. One of them had horns. Or antlers.
Blue? Red?
No,
Green?
he was more green, I think. But he definitely had antlers. Because he kept charging at the big guy.
The big guy?
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, Prof.
And then one of them, who'd been using small magics, said something, and then all of a sudden it looked like she just lost control of the magic, and then everything was fire.
And she exploded.
I hope so. I'd hate to think she actually, didn't explode. And she kind of glances out through her hair. It was really scary.
Sounds scary. You
Dear,
did really
that
well to
sounds
get out of there.
Truly dreadful, and I'm gonna sit on the stool next to her. It's going to creak so much louder than my weight should. I'm just gonna just rub her shoulder a little bit. Oh dear, that sounds absolutely dreadful.
Thank you. It'll be okay. They offered me work here once I'm recovered. I should only need another hour or so.
Oh,
Do you know what the job they were fighting over? Or who was giving the job?
No, I don't get too attached to people that come through taverns looking for work out on trails or exploring dungeons. Usually once you learn their names, they stop coming back.
you should definitely have another drink.
I'm gonna put a doily
doing?
under the second drink. You can keep this, dear.
Well, I'm gonna lean over. Fred, give her one of your cookies. Those always help.
Right. Pull out a lint-covered cookie. Hand it
Oh.
to her.
Steffa, can I call you Steffa? Steffa, you have not had anything like one of Fred's cookies. I'm telling you, they make everything better. Look, the lint adds flavoring and a little bit of
Character.
health benefit, character. Yes, you will never see or taste another cookie like this one.
They're not great.
It's okay. She's been drinking.
She kind of puts out a hand and kind of pulls the cookie in under her hair. And you realize you actually still haven't seen her face yet. And there's a soft chewing sound. And then she drinks her entire tankard. Then kind of pushes it out. And it gets filled again. The barkeep comes by. Might want to let her have a break. We'll make sure she has the night before she needs to get to work again. I'll get y'all. You're looking for rooms, I assume.
Yeah. Yes, please.
We can more than take care of that.
Do you happen to know anything about these two adventuring parties that burned down her inn?
No, one of them. Well, the big guy's always been a bit of a bully. Never really did much in the way of work around the town. Mostly just shook people down for loose coin. And then the other three, they were new to town, I think. First night in it.
Wonder if you knew where they find them.
I wouldn't think too much of it. Now they'll rebuild that inn. Move in a new family, probably. It's proprietors. We might even consider the property. It's pretty well situated.
So no hope of Steffa getting that one back, huh?
Well, real estate's not exactly free.
True.
But we'll see what happens. We'll take her in as one of our own. Never hurts to have another pair of hands in the kitchen, now does it?
Very true. Speaking of, how about a refill? And some for my friends here.
Of course, yep.
Whatever you guys would like.
It's a standard fare. They've some relatively low grade water that looks like it may pass for wine with people who don't know better. Ale that's probably a little too strong.
Too strong ale, please.
And they set you up and get you squared away for the night. Very little of interest is probably going to happen unless you desperately want me to rewrite tonight's events. But I also applaud everyone for deciding to go down the rabbit hole of the inn that blew up.
Interesting.
Small bit behind the curtains and why RJ was swearing at me. Before I ran the first game, RJ and a few other people did a quick test run of my combat mechanics. And the evening ended with the wild mage rolling fireball on self
Oh,
as a wild mage effect and literally wiped the board.
oof.
It's like, well, that's the end of the combat. And then when I ran the particular storyline the next week, that's where we started with the blown up inn. And it is now a perpetual part of starting this particular story arc because, gosh, it's just kind of fun. Morning comes, and you have a chance to head out to the edge of town to meet up with the caravan. They're not hard to spot. There's probably 4 wagons that are filled to the gills with people.
Do we see the horned person? The green or blue horned person among them?
No.
Oh.
They were immolated back at the Broken Axle.
Oh.
all of them were.
All of them were.
Oh,
gotcha. All right. Oh, well,
Never mind. No
makes it easier.
survivors
Okay,
situation.
so we're not gonna look for them.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. Okay.
That makes it a
No.
little
We're on the
easier.
yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. We're
No,
on the same. Okay.
we're not joking around. The fireball went off. We figured out the damage and the radius. And it was like, everyone in this combat is now dead.
How did
Right.
Steffa survive? That's a good kitchen wall they had.
Now, here's the good news. It was a successful test of the combat systems I was using. And it took it was like the 5th round of combat. We were kind of like into the, we're almost done with this. We're almost done with this. Oh, yep, we are done. When you get up to the caravan, the people that are filling the wagons are all dressed very similarly. The women are all wearing black dresses with white caps and a white, like a rope style belt. The men are all dressed in black breeches with a black, pardon my brain here, a black shirt and a black waistcoat. Everyone's moving around very quietly, very calmly. They have one wagon they're loading all of the baggage onto, but you would think that for the number of people, it would be more full of baggage. But they're traveling incredibly light. It looks like most of what that wagon has is actually food supplies. If you want to give me a quick survival check, I can tell you how much is probably there.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Definitely.
Plus, it's a chance to make sure that all of our dice work. Which would be good to know before things get crazy.
Before combat.
So let's see. 15, 13. Yeah, oh yeah. They keep their baggage all emotional. No, they're not Catholic. But that's legit. And I can make that joke. I went to Catholic school. So, they probably have about somewhere between 3 and 4 days worth of food based on the number of heads you've counted and how much they like their children. If they like the kids, 3 days. If they're not so into the kids, 4 days. Somewhere in that range.
Does it look like they're wearing religious clothing? Like they're all wearing some type of like uniform?
It's, now that you mention it, it's bordering on uniform. There's a certain amount of novelty. Like all the shirts don't look like they're cut from the same pattern, and all the dresses, like some of the dresses have a wider sleeve. Some of them stop at 3/4 length. Some of them go, almost passively past their wrists. Some of the dresses show the women's low boots. Some of them they actually have to pick up to keep from dragging in the mud. But that said, there are no colors. There are no shades of gray. Everything is either bleached white or jet black. And for the most part, it's black. You also notice that there's a surprisingly small amount of dirt. They look like they've been cleaned up.
That being said, Dusty me is gonna walk right up to someone.
That constant cloud of dust.
Yep.
that makes the
Like
Earth Genasi
Pigpen.
stick out.
Yeah.
He's very polite. Oh, good day to you.
Good day. What's going on here?
Oh, we are preparing for the pilgrimage. We are off to establish a new farm and colony. Are you part of the what is the proper term?
Bodyguards.
Guards. Yes, guards.
Yes,
Pilgrims?
yes. I believe yes, myself and my fellow guards over here are part of this group.
Oh,
Yes.
a pleasure to meet each of you then. My name is Roland. I'm really no one of import. But we're happy to have you.
We're happy to be here, and you are certainly important. Every single one of you are. That's part of our job here, doing this job.
It's very kind of you to say, and it's true. We all have our part to play in the greater plan for our world. However, in truth, I don't make the big decisions.
So who does make the big decisions? So we're just seeing you all come up here, and we're actually trying to talk to the right people to make sure everything's organized. And
Right, lassie. I would be the one making them decisions. And around Roland walks that dwarven guard that was out yesterday, and she's got them all like over her back. She's got her arm up over the shaft of it. Thought you were hired, did you now?
I mean, that was the impression I got after our lovely conversation yesterday.
You daft, lassie. I said we wait and see who showed up. Not that you was hired.
We're the only ones here.
I ain't got time for half-wits.
Not a half wit.
If you kinda say it. Are you sure you ain't one?
I'm gonna look over at Sierra and tug on her pant. Obviously, they don't really want anybody. I say we go back and find a real job.
I mean, that's a real good point. They don't really seem to be taking this seriously, so
We've offered, they've declined.
Now don't be rushing off now. I didn't say that we hadn't hired you yet.
I believe you said it multiple times.
Well,
Or maybe not. I'm gonna clean my ear out.
I said we wait to see who shows up and we hire the best company that does.
Look around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look under her cloak. I don't see anybody else.
she makes a valid point. Just saying. I made that
It's all
point
right,
earlier
dear.
too.
They grow on you. They grow on you. They do.
I mean, we're trying to be helpful. We don't want to force ourselves on anybody.
You don't want to be forcing yourself, you say.
No.
Don't think I didn't spot you tearing down the advertisement yesterday.
We just took the one. See, and I'll open
It
up.
was to get a closer look. I put it back. My fault it didn't stay up afterwards. Okay, it is my fault it didn't stay up afterwards. I made a try, Linton. I did.
And she looks over at Linton. You with these three?
Yes, I am, and they are some of the best people that I've come across. You won't be sorry if you hire us.
Plus, he's a great cook. Oh my goodness, the best chef.
So good.
It's a 2-for-1 deal here, dearie.
I dunno. We've got one with wings, one with dirt, and
There's nothing wrong with dirt.
suppose not.
The chef and the granny. You've got all the 4 elements of a perfect guarding adventure party. But hey, you don't want us? That's okay.
Now, I didn't say that.
We'll go take our cook and our lovely earthen person. And Granny, what's okay?
She looks over
Little
Linton
bucket.
for a moment. I didn't recognize that symbol on your chest there, laddie. Who is it that you swear your fealties to?
And I should have learned how to pronounce this a long time ago.
Oh, for crying out loud! Give the paladin a chance to talk up his god, and that's what happens.
I've been busy.
To be fair, he's trying to keep Moira out of trouble. I'm
This
sure
is true.
it takes
This is
up
true.
all his time.
You can all fake it till you make it, my friend.
I'm a paladin of Cirolali, mostly hospitality and hearth home, trust, handicraft.
And bodyguarding.
Yeah, and bodyguarding.
Debatable on that one.
Doc, it's fair. There are. To be honest, if I was looking to hire myself a paladin of righteousness or bloodletting or warfare, I'm not exactly sure that'd be the one I was thinking. But I appreciate a good brew. And she kind of glances up. They ain't getting any shorter. Then she glances over at Moira, chuckles to herself.
It's okay. I'm not getting any shorter either.
Listen, ma'am, just because I might be a homebody doesn't mean I don't know how to defend my home.
That's fair. I'd say given I cannot wait all day, and give me as much as we've got, consider yourselves hired. As soon as we get the rest of the baggage loaded, we'll set out. It's 3 days out, 3 days back.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about the people we're guarding, maybe?
See, they're people.
Hey.
And would you also, the details, the people we're guarding, how much we're getting paid, any supplies we'll be getting for the trip, or are we supplying our own, or how much we're getting paid?
Doc, these are questions you should have been asking before you insist on getting hired. I got stuff to finish up.
You insisted on hiring us.
And then she
at the
turns
end of
around
this.
and starts to walk off.
Well, this one is a tough customer, gang. I just don't know.
I'm gonna look pleadingly at Linton. I just one.
If I turn around, I'll have deniability. Looks off somewhere different.
I'm just gonna zip over and hit her in the back of the head. Probably with me. I'm just gonna fly into her.
And for those playing the Paladin drinking game, the Paladin did indeed overlook an evil act. Take a shot. That's 2 so far now tonight.
2 evil acts or 2 shots?
No, 2 shots. The first one, I just put it in chat. The first one was, I hate to be a stick in the mud. I love Paladins. She oofs briefly and glances over her shoulder and gives kind of like a half grin, and then goes up to the front wagon and starts finishing the preps.
Is it really an evil act, though?
No, it's not.
Mine? No. Hers? Yes. Are we taking this to? We're gonna treat us like that already?
I mean, I agree. Well, hold on. Do we still have that paper that fell originally? Did anyone grab that? The parchment? The sign?
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, this one?
All right, I take that.
I tried.
I draw my bow and I stick an arrow right where she's walking with it and being like, you might want to start looking again unless we're getting paid. And then I start walking away.
I'm going to follow her fluttering backwards going,
Wow. I'm going to take a moment now and comment on, I'm not sure I'm the one who's responsible for mixed messages this evening.
I'll That's so aggressive. It's so fast.
Winnie, can I turn around now?
No, dear. No, I don't think you're ever going to want to turn around.
Offer him a cookie, it'll make it better.
I don't think it will.
Look, I'll throw another bow with a cookie in it too.
A tide with a little yarn.
If you give the paladin a cookie.
Yeah.
You she sees the arrow in the sign. Spins on her heel, storms back over. I done got time to keep bickering with you lot. What do you need so we can get underway?
The information.
Ask your questions quickly. We got daylight a burning.
Pay, supplies, pay. More details about the people, pay, supplies, pay. Did I say pay? Pay.
4 times.
Was that enough, do you think, or should I do it once more? Pay.
Fine. 5 gold each when we arrive at the destination. 10 gold when we arrive back here.
Each?
Each. 1 less for each body lost along the way.
How many bodies are in the caravan? Did anybody count?
Quick head count,
Seemed like more
somewhere
than
between
10.
there's probably around 30 people per wagon and 5 wagons.
Also, it seems like a lot of armed guard for very passive farming folk. Is someone after these people?
Doc, no. But you cannot be thinking that I alone can keep all these people and their supplies safe on the road. I mean, I'm good. But I'm not 15 brigands good. And they'd be traveling with enough food for nigh 150 people.
50 people? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Sounds good.
Ugh, all that over a couple of names.
Oh, yeah. What's your name? It doesn't matter. We'll call you the angry one. It's all good.
I'm Winnie. And you are?
Mac. Mackenzie. You can call me Mac.
It's very nice to meet you, Mac. I'm sure we'll become the best of friends over the next few days.
Doc, I be hoping not.
Well, the alternative's not as good. Moira, please meet you. I'm sure we got off on the wrong foot. Some of us like we do. I mean, like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Aye. Good to meet you both. Now, can I be getting my caravan underway?
Go
Right.
on.
I'll be up driving with the front. If you lot want to take position with the supplies or the wagon near the back, that'll be a good place to put you. Keep your ears open, keep your eyes sharp. And if I be screaming, don't be waiting until I say anything in particular. Get your arses up here and help me.
Will do.
And she settles off and climbs up onto the front wagon, and in not too much longer after the exchange, the caravan gets underway.
Linton will toss a whetstone to Sierra. Keep your eyes sharp.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm ecstatic.
I feel like we need to have a separate thing like add quote commands for the number for indie band names. That would be another good one to keep.
I mean, you could do Linton and the Lollies.
I love that.
The Lollipop Guild.
I'm thinking Linton represents the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. Linton represents the Lollipop Guild, and he is super tasty. Wait, I mean, good. It's very good.
That took a twist.
Clock. No, that I'm gonna go back by the back. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over there.
Okay.
Yeah, the last wagon in the line is the supply, and the ones ahead are full of families. A fairly solid mix of men and women, children of various ages. You do spot as you work your way back a couple of babes in arms, but that's it. There's not that many small kids. Most of the kids that they have with them seem to be probably, in human terms, somewhere at least upwards of 9. So able to work a farm if they have to, or at least, kind of keep an eye on themselves as needed. And the wagons make their way out of the town. Is anyone going to be doing anything terribly interesting in that first hour, 2 hours of travel? As the wagons make their way along through kind of a temperate region, passing in and out of some light forests over some hills, keeping completely to the established road. Molly's looking.
No, not
I
really.
want to think of something to do, but I can't think of it now, which is fine.
I was gonna say I don't necessarily think we need to like RP it or anything, but if we're positioned with like a couple people in the back, and then I assume there's like some people standing or walking next to the carts that have people in it. Is it like, can we talk to the people that are in those carts, or are they like enclosed completely?
No, they're open wagons. They're all just sort of sitting. They're not the full like old Western with the big canvas tops. That's a lot of fabric and cloth and expensive.
Is it possible then to like, as we're walking for hours and days, just to strike up conversation and ask them like why they're going out to this farm, what their deal is, kind of with.
The short form of the next hour of kind of quietly and politely questioning. Just for giggles, give me a
Yeah, I'm not great at any of that.
When he's not bad at them.
True.
No, they're not +5s, but you're also like level 1.
True.
Yeah, dial it back from where Ember was.
I know, I miss it.
But yeah, let's just for the giggles and just to give me some direction, go ahead and roll me a persuasion. And then we'll kind of see where that takes us.
Natural 19 plus 1, dirty 20.
A what?
You never heard of a dirty 20?
That sounds like a drink.
It really needs to be a drink. Yes.
Needs to be a drink. Okay, chat, you're on top of that one. Guys, figure out the formula for a dirty 20.
And we will all make them next time.
A freaking men. Anyway, my next one was, actually, you should give us like 5 possibilities. We'll mix them individually, and we can do that as part of the pre-show is pitch which one we think should be the official dirty 20.
I love it.
But the what you get from them without in essence over the next hour of chatting, and it's not. Oh, that's wrong, dude. That's really wrong. Anyone who's been to college knows that's really wrong.
This is our chef saying
So
this.
not that one, right?
Not that one. But they are members of a religious order that is not actually dedicated to a specific god, but rather to specific acts of kindness in the world. So they don't worship a deity, they worship service to others. And their goal is to establish a colony and like farming village out this direction. They're joining specifically another group of about 100 people that have already started the foundations. So about 2 months ago, a group of men went out and started building houses, surveying out the farmland, started clearing rocks. And this is the first like collection of families that are going to really fill everything out and start building the commune up. They're kind of, you pick up, if you're familiar with it, even though Winnie wouldn't use the term, you pick up some really heavy hippie vibes, despite the puritanical appearance.
Okay.
There's also a lot of emphasis on modesty as well. But this is that they want to be recognized for their deeds and not for who they are.
I'm just gonna play with the kids.
The kids will mostly want to keep a distance, but are amused by anything you do that they don't have to engage in.
I'm good with that.
There's a
Jingling keys 20 feet away.
It's not, yeah, almost. It's a little more of that, like, different is fascinating, but we don't want to get in trouble for showing too much excitement. And it's not like they can hide from their parents right now.
Very true.
Some of the kids are literally sitting on the floor of the wagon with mom and dad, like, near their knees right next to them. Minus the times that they're like, a dad might swing out of the wagon and have the kid lowered to him and then jog off into the woods and jog back. And because the caravan's not moving that fast. It's more or less a light walking pace. So you have no trouble keeping up on foot. But the biggest thing is they're not making these people walk the entire distance. So are there any other interesting questions you would inquire about them as you make your journey over the morning?
I probably would just keep it to polite chit chat unless... Do any of them seem uneasy about going? Like when we're talking about it, do any of them seem kind of like not about it?
I would love you to roll me an insight.
Oh, that's not bad.
I say, why are you complaining? You have +3 in it.
I forgot. You ever
really,
forget?
You really need to recalibrate.
I do, truly.
That didn't necessarily serve us well last game.
Yeah. Oh, 19.
Yes, give me all your good rolls now.
I
like
fire.
this. I like this.
Don't you jinx me. This is gonna be all night. Don't you jinx me.
That's not how the law of averages works.
How dare you? You don't know my life.
As you have a chance to talk, you do spot unease among especially the younger women. Probably about, like just talking to one wagon's worth, there's probably 7 or 8 girls between 15 and 18 that look really uncomfortable. The good news is, after politely engaging them, it's mostly tied to, we don't know where we're going that well. We don't know what's going to be expected of us over the next year. One of them is really paranoid that none of the boys are going to like her enough to wed her, and she won't have the ability to seek a husband anywhere else. Not that she can't go, but just like she doesn't want to give up on the good works that they're all doing. So it's no one that you pick up on is there truly against their will. There's just a healthy, natural, there's the emotional baggage. No, it's I don't say it's that far. It's just more of this healthy, natural trepidation about we're traveling for 3 straight days into nowhere to start a life on a commune.
Insecurity.
Yeah. Fear of the unknown. And the fact that they know they had to hire you to make sure they make it there in one piece.
Okay.
Because there's a non-zero possibility, which is actually the exact language one of the dads uses. A non-zero possibility that we will be waylaid on our way there.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that's all I want to know. If anyone was like there against their will or being forced into this is really,
yeah,
I guess my only, does anyone else want to know anything? I'm sure.
Do they know anything about where they're going?
For the most part,
the area?
most of them are not that familiar with geography. Some of them grew up in the town of Brewster that you just left. Most of them have actually traveled to Brewster to join this wagon caravan to head out. So small pockets of, like, you pick up, there are small groups of maybe 15 to 20 devotees around the region that traveled for a day or two to get there to be part of this group. So,
Based on the location where we're all traveling, are we familiar with this area at all?
this is the furthest east you've been. So you're definitely moving a solid distance. 1 ounce of Mad Dog Dragon fruit in a highball glass rimmed with pixie sticks. Filled with ice and Mountain Dew Code Red.
You lost me at the Mountain Dew.
I'll drink
But
that.
you know what? I bet you could use anything that was kind of a sparkly clear liquid. You could use Sprite. You could
do
use
Oh,
Suggest this.
well, there's
You know
no-
what? If I could swap it to Baja Blast specifically, Mountain Dew, then absolutely yes.
I don't think you'd have. I think any Mountain Dew would work. I don't think you have to discriminate. I think depends on the color of your dirty 20.
I will
And
also.
everybody's dice are different.
I'll also double check the Twitch TOS. We might have to be careful how much we talk about this.
Oh.
We'll make it a happy hour topic.
There you go.
Yeah, no, for the most part, though, it's this is an area that you're not that familiar with. You've heard about stories about it. It's not well settled. There aren't to your no. You know what I'm going to do? I would love to see Sierra give me a survival check.
Okay.
I'm not. I got to stop giving you guys freebies. 14. That's pretty solid. Yeah, this is not an area that's known for any particular monster infestations. There's like you haven't heard that there's a massive gnoll tribe out here or goblin settlements. It's probable that there are some small groups living out this way that just don't rate as something that people talk about back in town. So it's not like you walk past multiple flyers for someone that says, hey, if you go looking for people to go clear out this gnoll village that's raiding our farm. Or if they did, it wasn't in this particular direction. In fact, you start to get the impression a couple hours into your walk, it's becoming about midday, that this might be the easiest money you've ever made. You're just going to walk for 3 days and get paid for it. There will be a couple of the members of the group that will try to convince you over the course of the walk that you should just stay when you get there.
I would love to listen to those people and then also get their idea of what makes a good work. And then also explain that, people like Linton do good works and they travel with their good works. So, if you end up not liking the village, you can always travel and do some good works too.
To which they will be very open to. And there are those that go out and do good works out in the world. That's
Well, especially those young ladies too who are unsure of what lies ahead from you. You don't have to stay. Go adventure. Make your own good works.
To which several of the adults will concur. If they want to take their chances in the world full of brigands and vagabonds, ne'er-do-wells, malcontents, they are absolutely free to do so.
That's not at all how you sell that. I mean, and me, I could be good. You never know.
Well, sometimes making your home safe is going out and taking care of those brigands and ne'er-do-wells.
As Linton says this, the wagon slows to a stop.
I just had to say something.
And you look around.
Perception?
Off to the left of the right of the road, there's a kind of a sharp rise before it disappears up into some light pine trees, light pine forest. The left side of the road is more of that same pine savanna. Well, you can see a fairly good distance, but it's definitely not open terrain. You look up past the wagons, and you can see that something is going, some groups of people have come in on either side of the road.
Like at the front?
At the front,
of
yeah.
Okay.
The front wagon has stopped.
Fly up a little bit and take a look. Not just like more like up in the air, not necessarily up to the front of the wagon, but up in the air to get a good.
I'm
Also,
gonna
while
quietly
she's-
draw my bow.
Is it
Just-
possible to do like a perception sweep too of like the surrounding? Because I'm in like the middle. Are there other faces or people in the forest next to us?
Not hiding. You can, as you kind of like move up towards the front of the wagon terrain, you can spot there are several people standing across the front of the road.
But none like flanking us.
No.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Nope. As you fly up and look down, you can easily spot a group of men and a couple of women that have blocked off the road. There's a log has been dragged across it, and they're all standing opposite it from you. And Mac is standing on the platform on her wagon at the front. She's at her hammer is next to her with the head down. She's got her hand on the bottom of the shaft. You cannot expect us to turn the caravan around under these conditions. There's nowhere to turn. Now move that damned log and let us pass.
It doesn't look good.
The guy on the
Negotiations are going nowhere.
as you move to where you can see at this, you can overhear the conversation. And the guy on the far side of the logs. Now see, I'd like to move the log for you, ma'am. I would love to help these fine folks find their way along the road. But you see, there are all these rules and laws about labor now. I'd have to charge you for it.
Not going well.
Sierra starts approaching and is like, What's going on here? What's happening?"
Lynn's right behind.
Same.
He's backing her up. He spots as you come up. He goes, "Maybe you can talk some sense into this kind, if stout woman driving. This is a road that we own. And for us to do labor upon the road to allow you to pass, we have to charge you. We don't make these rules. These come down from the Lord. Whoever owns the road cannot work upon it for free. And it's not as if we're charging a great sum. We're only asking for 2 gold pieces."
"Can you prove you own the road?"
"Well, I think we've established that. We're standing on it. And we're armed."
"I'm standing on it and also armed."
Congratulations, Sierra. I didn't know you owned this land. This is,
Hell yeah.
This is a beautiful piece of road.
I'm so glad to have it, just so if you could kindly, I will take over this road and its maintenance.
Well, you
Wait,
might
you
own
just-
that part of road, but we're on this part of road. So if you want these kind people on their wagons to come down onto our part of road, again, a nominal fee. 2 gold, we move the log, and you pass.
They're not being for real. It's only 2 gold. There's no way.
Roll me an insight.
Oh! 19.
Whoa.
He is being completely truthful that the cost is 2 gold. Like there's no ticket of any kind that he is revealing that is not accurate. His
But
eyes don't.
It's like not all they want, right? That was my question. Can I decipher
on a
that?
hunch, you go, really? He goes, well, 2 gold per person.
Okay.
Perhaps you should just take a collection or ask who wants to go back.
Can
You
I count them and then flutter down onto the road by them and go, well, you owe me this much? Because now I own the road. I'm still getting hit.
Where do you intend to flutter down? Like next to Sierra or like where they are?
No, on their side of the log.
On their side of the log. You're welcome to.
Well, can I throw in some intimidation?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
lot of
6, 7,
intimidation.
8, 9, 10. There's the guy who's talking, and as you come down, you start to count, and there's 10 of them besides the boss. Are you still fluttering down into the middle of all of them?
It's a lot of gold. Just saying.
I know. Yeah. I'm going to channel my intimidation.
She may,
As I
her
flutter
size
down.
category may be small, but her cojones are not.
But my stupid level is high.
High intelligence, low wisdom.
I've got charisma. I can use my charisma. No.
Right.
And you didn't say if I could. Oh, wow. Never mind.
Wow, yeah, that was...
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you just like jumping right on that. I didn't even have to ask you. Yeah, you land. He goes, I think you owe me 22 gold. And they all kind of look at you, and you look up at all of them and go, they are not concerned. It could be they underestimate you. It could be they ate your entire weight for breakfast individually.
I pull out my panpipes and go.
I don't see the problem.
I don't either. You're on my road. Give me my 22 gold. You can pass.
I will
Your
have,
rules.
You know, I like the way you think, little one. I have a proposal. We will pay you 22 gold once they have paid us the 2 gold per person.
Oh, see, that's a problem. We seem to be at a stalemate. Who's God, by the way?
Pardon?
Which lord? You said your lord.
Well, the Lord
Well,
who
Geo
owns
on the
this.
road. Which one would that be?
Lord Muckety Muck.
Oh, Lord High Muckety Muck or just the medium
The
Muckety Muck?
medium Muckety Hi, Muckety Muck. I mean, let's be honest. Would he really be caught dead in this part of the world?
No, but I also don't think he'd work for him, so.
I suppose it's really neither here nor there, is it?
No.
Either way, we're
So-
not moving until we get paid.
Yeah, see, that's going to be a problem because you got people that, you know what? Maybe this is just the right thing. Maybe you need a good work done. And I know just the people. You know, this log looks very heavy for you guys. And so since you can't do labor without the payment, I suggest that perhaps we do a good deed for you and move it so you don't have to stress yourself about it, thus helping all of us to a better solution and you to a more glorious day.
Okay, Bard, roll a persuasion.
I'm so proud of her. She's talking things through.
Yeah, that's
Linton's
what I'm
like,
doing.
This is going to
19.
You have a bard that did bard things.
Don't tell Jesse.
Yes.
Don't tell Jesse. It won't end well. You know, I think you make a compelling point. I think this log looks like it would take 6 people to move as a good deed. So I'm comfortable allowing 6 of those pilgrims to come onto our road and move this log at 2 gold per person.
That is not what you said, nor what I proposed.
You propose.
Although, after you pay us the gold you owe us for being on our road, we will happily have our laborers pay you, what, the privilege of moving your stuff? That seems reversed.
So here's how this works. We're going to get paid, or someone's going to get killed.
Hey, Rob.
You know what?
Is drawing her bow.
Yeah,
string
would
out.
you be able to tell me footage and positions of these bandits?
What are you planning?
It's one of two things that's about to happen depending on how they're situated. It's either going to be earth tremor or entangled.
They are fairly well scattered around the sides of the road. So there's a nice cluster of about 5 of them right here on the road, and the other 6 are well off the path. So you might be able to catch one of the if you think of it as 3 pockets, you can probably catch one of the 3. But they do have the advantage of, and they're not new to this. They're not all going to gaggle together so someone can drop a flaming sphere on them.
No. Okay, I thought they were all like standing at the front
Right.
of the wagon, so that kind of changes things for me. The person who's talking though, they're in front of us,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, dead center with 4 people with them, plus Moira.
That's okay. Do what you want.
I can take it.
Do what you want. Let them die. I mean, negotiations have broken down slightly. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, I'm gonna go. I like this guy. Sierra, don't you like this guy? He is fun. Doesn't understand how lords and work for pay works, but I really like him.
Mac looks
You're
over at Sierra, who's like getting ready to fire a shot, and then looks over her shoulder at the wagon of people that are not geared for combat, and kind of actually puts out a hand towards Sierra. Like, I think we can afford what he's suggesting.
I hadn't considered that.
Thera looks and just wants to make sure that that's the truth. Like she really wants to do that instead.
She kind of looks at all of you and looks at him and looks back at the people. And then as she kind of clambers down and looks up at Sierra, how many of them do you think are going to find themselves caught in the crossfire if we start slinging arrows at each other?
And she sighs and lowers her bow. It's like,
Yeah, you're good, lassie. Appreciate
You're
it.
right about the rats.
Hi. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head. She makes her way over and drops a coin bag in the guy's hand. Feels like the right amount. Your people are perfectly free to move this log and be on your way.
Lennon will help.
A little more.
Actually, I got one.
Thera helps.
No, Linton does not.
Oh, I think I pulled something. Oh gosh.
I was gonna
golly.
say, it might take a minute, but I have pretty decent animal handling. Is there a way to like hitch the horse to the log and drag it off the road?
You could, but at this point, having a couple of the men and one fairly burly woman jump off the wagon to come over, they without
helpful.
yeah with Linton's help, they're able to get the log pushed out of the way, and everyone kind of climbs in, and there's a lot of loud whispering about the fact that they were all nearly killed on their way.
Like they're excited, like it's an exciting thing.
Yeah, there's like this weird vibe among many of them that like this is now real, that they've now endured in the name of good deeds in the world. And then there's a couple of the older ones who are like, yeah, these kids don't know anything about enduring. Twitch here. Honey, not everyone has single-handedly raided a Knoll encampment. You have to let them grow into this.
Not everyone has stormed a beach amidst machine gun fire wielding a claymore.
More impressive than that to me still is the one who took his bagpipes ashore and played them.
Amazing.
Oh, I think it's the same guy.
Yeah, and didn't
Probably.
die. Like, I'm just imagining the Germans up there. I had to be like, I don't care who we kill. We got to hit that one. Oh.
I'm gonna have to make my way back and get that guy's story about the Knoll Village, though.
Oh, he absolutely does not want to talk about it.
Does he not want to talk about it in the way that you can gather information? Does they don't want to talk about it?
No, like legit, you're like, I want to hear about this. And he's like, I don't talk about those days. But what I found you is I don't want to talk about that. That's all he will say. I don't want to talk
to the
about
wife?
those days. And the wife says, oh, he used to really spin some good yarns, but he doesn't like to talk about those days. After a little bit of pestering, one of the younger people will lean over and go, he's been saying that for longer than I've been alive, according to my mom.
The Knoll Village story.
He doesn't like to talk about it. We have theories.
Ooh, I'll take the theories.
And as soon as you say that, the woman like glare. You can. She's within earshot, and she just glares. And he goes, "Yes, about my theories. We don't like to talk about that."
Stomp off.
There you go, Gunstar. Now I look like a proper DM. But anyway. The wagon continues on into the afternoon. And about later afternoon is when the blue sky disappears. And through the pine needles and the branches, you can see that the sky is starting to gray at an alarming rate. And yeah, you did.
Stupid story I get paid.
It's not too much longer after that the rain starts to come down. And out of some various cabinets, different bits of oiled canvas get found, and families start to huddle as best they can under it, holding them, wrapping them over their shoulders and their heads so the water runs off the sides of the wagons, trying to keep everyone as dry as they can. But they really weren't that prepared for foul weather. After about half an hour or so of that, you start to lose sight of the lead wagon, as the combination of the rain and now like a rising fog starts to obscure your vision in any given direction. It's serious enough that you can't actually, like, you can see whatever wagon you're next to, and that's about it.
Can I cast a light cantrip on a wagon or two? And see if that helps. Maybe try and go up farther and cast one on one of the...
Yeah. You can try. And Ruby, thank you for joining the community and for the host. We appreciate more people having a chance to see our D&D games. So thank you for that on multiple fronts. Hopefully things will continue to be entertaining this evening. Flying in this weather is really dicey.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you pick up any real altitude, you're going to find yourself fighting the wind a bit.
Yeah. Can I go more with you? Push off one wagon and glide to another one?
You can get yourself there. The problem is as you kick in your light and like look for a place to stick it, you realize that the light it emits reflects off the fog just as much as anything else. So it's not helping a lot with the vision.
No, but will it help us keep track of the wagons in front?
That's fair. You will it'll be easier to see the light on the wagon.
Yeah.
So you can at least know who you're following.
Right.
Hey, a little bit. What do you need? Yeah, she can. Just be quiet. And thank you. That was a channel point redemption. As you can, so you're maintaining a light spell on the front one.
If I can get up to the front one, yeah.
Yeah, you can totally
It's
get there.
a cantrip, I think. So for an hour.
Yeah, thwap. Throw a light on the back, one of the sides of it.
Yeah.
Seeing that, they're going to actually start to set up a lantern at each of the drivers so they can see each other. Are you all more or less than staying towards the rear, as you were asked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Recount the
imagine-
wagons as we head back.
Okay.
I think I'm probably still probably carrying on conversations with people, so I'm probably in that middle.
The second to last wagon where there are still
Yeah.
people?
Yeah, still
Okay.
chatting.
Yeah, you have 4 wagons of people plus the supply wagon. So, yeah,
If
you
I'm
can,
at the front wagon, I just want to ask Mac what their plans are.
uh,
Are you gonna continue through this fog, or is this thinking of making
she's
camp?
discussing that with the other driver who seems to be making decisions. They're going to keep going for now because they're afraid if they stop, they're going to lose too much time. And they did not plan for, unless they travel at night, they don't have the supplies to add a full day to their trip.
Really didn't plan this well.
Well, no, apparently not. There is even talk about turning around.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, they have enough supplies to get back. Better to have better to abort the caravan than to have people die of starvation while on it.
One day. No hunters?
And they're, like I said,
I'm-
they're discussing.
I'm a hire. Could eavesdrop a little bit.
But for now, they're continuing as best they can. It's the rain isn't that bad, and as long as they can see the lights at each wagon, they should be okay. At least until it gets dark, and then they'll definitely pull off and make camp somewhere. You head back towards where everyone else is, and have a chance to continue on for a bit further. When you hear Mac scream, you're, laddie, you get back down where you belong. You cannot. And then the light at the front wagon disappears.
Ooh,
Sierra
that's
starts
not good.
bolting in that direction.
Yeah.
Grabs his weapon, grabs his frying pan. And it's a walk, sorry.
Yeah, the walk shield and the. I love Linton. Yeah, you start to charge forward, and you realize that trying to catch up with the wagon is even more difficult because you're running through probably 8 to 12-inch deep mud
I
on
love
the
mud.
road. And as you start to push up past from the 4th wagon to the 3rd, you hear like a universal scream, and the light at the 2nd wagon disappears.
I'm gonna hop from wagon to wagon and just tell him to stop. Because I hit it. Just stop.
Oh yeah,
Go on to
the
the next
wagons are
one.
stopping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the wagon stopped.
Because at 2, they learned.
Yeah. After Mac's scream, the wagons all came to a stop.
Oh, but the second one still had an issue.
No, the second one just disappeared.
Oh, right.
Would I have made it a little bit quicker because I actually can move across difficult terrain made of earth or stone without taking up extra movement? So I do good in mud.
That's an excellent observation. So you all start like charging forward and, digging through the mud and trying to get traction. And you watch as Sarah kind of pauses and then like almost like ice skates through the stuff. And here's my question for Pond. What is Sierra's priority? To stick with the group or to get up there to see what's happening. Because there will be a point where you will disappear from vision.
My plan is different than Sierra's, and Sierra's plan is to charge forward.
So Sierra is going to charge blindly into it while Pon's like, crap, the DM just pointed out that I'm about to find myself alone with whatever this is.
Yeah. I gotta stick to it. That's like her thing. Fuck.
Dang it. No problem. You go charging forward, and as you come up past you're coming up on the third wagon now, and you watch as the light seems to get pulled right down into the mud. You get up next to the horse of the third wagon, and that's when the first body slams into yours. It's decayed. It has rags hanging on it. You can see exposed bones. And the entire thing is caked in mud as it claws blindly at whatever living flesh it can find, stumbling into you out of the fogs. And it's not alone.
I yell to everyone, being like, "Get up here!"
Curse my little legs!
Splush, 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 splush.
What's
splush,
taking
splush.
y'all so long? I'm only taller and can run through mud.
I have 25 feet of movement.
Yes, Sierra is the tallest of us. That is correct. So tall.
I have 30 walking speed.
And I try to take the body and just shove it away.
You are welcome to try to do that.
Great.
Let me clear the combat board and put up the correct encounter.
Should we be rolling a certain d20 here?
We should be taking a short 5-minute breather to refresh our water and breathe and pet your kitties, and then we will be rolling some d20s. So let's take that 5-minute break. Before you disappear, if you check the chat, it just popped up a link to Foxy's Fund, which I am going to make a quick shout out for. It is a charity designed to help and support through the veterinary hospital my wife works at, strays, lost animals, and animals whose owners are in severe financial straits, to help them pay for treatments for curable diseases. The hope is that no animal is ever put to sleep simply because it has no owner, or its owner can't afford something that it can recover from. And so Foxy's Fund is a great charity that they run to help pay for that. Serendipity, which was a cat we had to say goodbye to about 3 weeks ago, was a stray. She was a foundling. We brought her into our house, and Foxy's Fund is the kind of thing that would have helped her get through that first few weeks after she was discovered. So if you feel a need to be supportive, I would love you dearly, and that was a great place to show that support. We'll see everybody back here in 5 minutes.
Wait, are you doing stickers?
I will fire up the sticker giveaway when we get back. And I'll
Okay.
set it for a good hour run.
Cool.
We'll see you guys in 5. We'll even go straight into the combat view. Okay, so you guys were going to roll initiative, weren't you? Let's see. How bad is this? Here's the good news. We don't need to worry too terribly about where everybody is, because there's rain and there's mud. The bad news is, as you go rushing up, Sierra's going to be on her own for at least a combat round while the rest of you slog your way up there. The exception would be Moira can get into combat in the first round if she so wants, and can give me an athletics check.
Okay.
And that would be particularly because of that wonderful thing of trying to fly in a storm.
Yeah. That was a 3.
That was
for
a 3.
athletics.
It's not happening. Like, you get the wings going, you start to flutter, and it's just like, it's just too heavy on them.
Just to win a miss.
Because, yeah, I don't mind flyers, but darn it, I'm gonna make it a little more fun. Okay, so Linton comes in at that 19, which will be great next turn. Moira at 15, Sierra at 19, and Winnie at 12. Okay. And hang on, let me refresh that. Okay. You will have to refresh the combat tracker I posted. So if you don't see a bunch of mud zombies, hit refresh. We did have an incident in one game where somebody got 4 rounds in the combat and couldn't figure out why everyone was so upset because everyone was at full health. And then we said, you should refresh that. And then she realized that one of the party was at 2 hit points. One of the party was at 4 hit points. I was like, oh. And someday I will let her live that down.
Oh, the look on their face was just amazing.
Yeah, I've been working on it.
I was like 1 hit point, no soul, and a dream in that fight.
Yep.
It was rough.
By the by, Prof, Linton has 12 HP.
What do I have him at?
11.
Okay, I can fix that.
Thank you.
And an 18 AC, right?
Yes.
Cool. Max hit points are 12. And then I'll heal him for 1. So that is a 12. I thought I tried to get everybody right, but I also was in an in-service learning about formative assessments. So I was mildly distracted while I was working. It's really frustrating. So in the rain and the storm, as these zombies come seemingly up out of the mud itself, what is Sierra's current thought? And action, not just thought. I guess it's about the thoughts alone, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy cursing in her thoughts. Well, so the zombie that she bumped into, she immediately wants to shove away.
Okay.
Just out of instinct, I think, because it surprised her a little bit. And because she can't really see, she draws out her short sword. Because I'm guessing it's still really foggy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're all like, I mean, if you were trying to use your bow here, you could see the near ones, but they're like, you're dodging and weaving while you're doing it.
Right. So yeah, she takes hold of her short sword, and just ready to swing at anyone that's close enough.
Well, the one you just pushed is right there.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Let's see how it goes. I will say that one happens to be number 6 because that will make this real interesting. That will totally hit. Throw some damage down.
Wonderful.
And that's solid. A solid hit for 6 damage as it reels and curses and lumbers into war. And it's going to make its own efforts to drag you down into the mud with it in a rather literal sense. And it fails to get through your defenses as you dodge and weave with it with surprising balance. So that was its action. Moira's still playing catch up. This one is going to focus on... I was also going to take a swing at Sierra and fails to get through her defenses as well. And then what we're going to do is kind of blitz through this because when he's playing catch up, unless she's planning to do something at a distance through the storm.
They're not within 30 feet of me, are they?
Not quite.
Not, like, I can't see anything within 30 feet?
You get close. Not really.
Okay. Then I don't have anything.
Fair enough. Sarah watches as several of the zombies turn their attention to the wagon and start pulling it over towards the one side, away from you. Which the people in the wagon are doing their best to hack at the hands they're reaching for with whatever they have handy, but none of them are geared for fighting. Many of them are using like cooking knives that they have on their belts for defense. And you're quickly taken by the screams of everyone that's not used to fighting, which would be most of them.
Great.
It is into this fracas that Linton comes rushing. And you can see that the wagon is starting to pitch. They've got 2 of the wheels are actually up on one side as they're pulling it over to dump it.
Linton's gonna move up to the closest mud zombie and take a swing with his Morning Star.
You going after the ones pulling over the wagon or the ones that Sierra's currently dancing with?
You got this, right?
Oh yeah.
Ah!
That would be
Yeah,
the other ones?
To the wagon, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put tags on the ones that Sierra's playing with right now. So you can see that. And then for those not familiar with it, I will once again plug this is called improved-initiative.com. It is the greatest thing I found for running D&D games next to D&D Beyond. And I actively use it at my regular tabletop offline because it's really awesome. How'd the attack roll go?
Here we go.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 will hit the zombie.
Yeah.
Thankfully, zombies are not that...
6 points of piercing damage.
solid as it howls in anger and leaves its post to deal with this annoyance that has appeared.
It's a shame you're nothing cookable.
I understand anything can be edible if you get up to a high enough temperature.
I don't have purify food or drink. Boop. But that's Linton's turn.
I think I can, so I should prepare that next time.
These are people too, by the way.
We don't question what's in the food.
We had that conversation.
We did.
Hey y'all, try this out. It's called Soylent.
Is it always green?
Not when it's fresh. Okay, Pond, what's the air doing now?
So how many of the zombies are on the
2
wagon?
are on you. One is fighting Linton. The other 3 are pulling the wagon over.
How bad is the wagon looking right now?
It's at about 30, 40 degrees. Once it passes 45, it's probably its own weight will take it over as people are starting to scramble up and away as best they can to try to keep it counterbalanced and out of sheer terror that they're going to get flipped into the mud with the zombies.
Okay. I'm gonna try and deal with the ones on me first before I run there. I do have 2 short swords, so they're both light. So I'm gonna grab
Pop
my
out
other
the
one
second
too.
one?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I'm gonna slice at the one that I hurt originally, number 6.
Okay.
Um,
A very reasonable action. That will totally
50.
hit.
Sweet.
Zombies are not hard to hit. Hard to kill, but not hard to hit.
That's something.
Okay. You whittle off some more flesh and bone from it
Great. And I'll swing at it again.
with the offhand.
Yeah, it's my offhand for sure.
Do you want to re-roll that?
No, it's
Okay.
Would you guys mind?
Yeah, we have rerolls. Do it.
First book of fate. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Heck yeah.
Yeah, you haven't... Oh, I don't like that. That's good enough. That
Okay.
was a good. And I think... We'll go ahead and roll damage, but I don't think it's possible for you not to dispatch this thing. Yeah, +2. It'll be dispatched.
Sweet.
Handily. You have the first kill of the campaign goes to Pond. Which is good, because for a while there I was concerned it was going to be the first kill of the campaign was going to go to me. So you know what? I'll take that. And I think that's... Is Sarah doing anything else of consequence this turn? Any
I'll risk that zombie that's on me and I'll start heading towards the wagon.
Oh, the ones that are pulling the wagon over?
Yeah, I'll start heading that way.
Okay, it's gonna as you turn to go attack the ones that are trying to topple the wagon, it is going to take a swing at you, and it's not going to be successful. You kind of dodge and you duck and weave, and it makes sense to you. I mean, you're moving through the mud like it's cobblestones. So, dang it. I was all prepared to deal with a flyer. I wasn't ready for someone that is unhindered by mud. I hate you guys. A little bit. So what's Moira doing?
Okay, so it's the ones that Sierra's moving away from, but also the ones on the wagon.
Right.
Are there more? No, that's it.
That's it.
Okay, I want to cast carry. Let's try that again. I want to use fairy fire on the ones on the wagon because that's gonna. I don't know if it works well enough, but it's each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined. That's skills, but the creatures where it's cast fail a dexterity saving throw. I don't know if that works or not. Any attack roll against the affected creature object has advantage if the attacker can see it.
Okay, so you're granting it.
Yeah, it grants us advantage on the creatures.
Oh, so that's like free rerolls.
Yeah. A bit.
That's pretty dang cool.
So, I'm going to do that, and then that's a cantrip. No, it's not. That's a first level spell, so.
Although, I think... yeah, welcome aboard the Blackness. I think you might actually... Before we finish, I want to double check one thing. I know there's something... you actually get Fairy Fire as a freebie. As part of your fairy background. Once per long rest. You can fire it off.
Right, okay, that's fair. All right, cool. Can I do that, and then can I take a swing? That one?
No.
Oh.
Cantrip still, Fairy Fire is still a full action to cast.
Oh, okay.
So,
but I don't need to roll anything, so.
So let me mark the ones that don't pass their deck saves. I don't expect that to be many of them to pass. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So then let me mark. We'll remember.
Do I get a bonus action?
What would you like to do with your bonus action?
I want to hit something.
Do you have an offhand weapon? No, that would only be if you make an attack roll.
I don't. Okay. So
Yep.
I can't.
So you can't.
Great.
You
Okay.
cast magic.
Right.
You reached into the weave, grabbed hold of Faye, and splattered it like so much glitter over all the zombies. Were you looking to
make
do
a
more?
fake. Well, yeah, of course, but no, I'm just gonna. Yeah. All right, I get it. I'm sorry.
That's
it's my first
fair.
time.
That's fair. Busha, welcome aboard, by the way. Glad to have you here, Blackness. I'm 98% sure, but I think Dress Up the Abbey is marked as not during D&D. I appreciate you going after it. I gave you the points back. But there is no avatar to dress up, and you don't want to try to dress me up right now. That would be Trey awkward. And I like these people here on the game with me, and I want them to come back. Disco Zombies. Kind of. Okay, so the one that was fighting Sierra is going to come around this, is actually going to move and start to throw its shoulder onto the bottom of the wagon to push it up and over. That seems to be their sole purpose right now. Which then asks the question as Winnie comes jogging up into the region. What is Winnie doing?
So I have a question about a spell.
Try me.
So for the spell Entangled,
Mhm.
could I use it to grasp the wagon and hold it from being flipped? Like where they're grabbing, could vines, or in our case yarn, come up and grab the side they're trying to pull up?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't see why not. I will need, however, it can't make a dex save. Wagons can't save. So
Right.
I would like
it's
to
strength, too.
see, or make a strength save.
Yeah.
I would like to see Winnie roll me a wisdom save.
Okay.
Because that's your casting modifier, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Throw the dice down on it. That gives you a little room for this not to work like you had hoped, but gives us a number to work with to say, hey, how did that go?
I mean,
Jeez.
21. 21. This wagon ain't going nowhere. Where you going, wagon?
Don't mess with Grandma's yarn.
Don't mess with Grandma's wagon.
So when he reaches out to grab the energy of the earth, and you watch as a series of vines leap out and grab onto the wagon and start to pull it back down. And in the rain, you can catch the vines are made entirely of thick woven wool yarns. So we kind of catch both of them. It's not like crocheted vines because that's just awkward.
It's just too much.
That's a bridge too far even for the DM. But yeah, so it starts to pull, and it's definitely keeping it from going over now. You don't quite crush the one that was underneath it, but he's definitely like he's not happy with his unlife choices. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
The one that Linton was scrapping with is going to scrap back ineffectually. These are going to, are going to continue to pull against the vines. Let's see what happens. What is the DC to break out of your vines? DC is a 13. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to look. It's a strength check of 13.
No problem. And then we have one more of those that's going to keep at this at least through this combat round. Okay. That works. The ones that are not currently engaged with anyone continue to pull at the wagon, and you watch as you hold this magic in place and start to think about your next move. You watch as one of the vines starts to fray and then snap as they continue to put their full strength into bringing this wagon over and dumping its contents. That means that gets us through all of this. Tell me what Linton's up to.
Can't really move anywhere with a zombie in front of him, so he's gonna rumble back.
Fair enough.
That will be a 17 to hit.
That will totally be a hit.
For 8 points of piercing damage.
And I think that rids the world of another blasphemous undead.
He's going to use whatever movement he has to get up to the cart and just bang his Morning Star against the bottom of his walk.
Ah, you're firing off taunt.
It's
Watch
the
your
dinner
back.
bell.
Soup's on.
That's fair. Sierra. What's Sierra doing? The best thing, though, is if...
To unmute my mic.
Okay.
I realized that real quick. Sorry.
You're up.
So Sierra would like to move to the zombie that's closest to the broken vine
Okay.
on the wagon and take a little swing.
No problem. Go for it.
Wonderful. 18, sorry.
Yep. Okay.
Perfect.
That'll mess it up a little bit.
And then she'd like to hit it with the second one as well. Or try to.
That'll hit.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, zombies aren't hard to hit.
Yeah.
They're hard to whittle down, though. And that takes care of another one.
Sweet.
Okay. So we've got, what, 3 of them are left? One was pushing at the bottom of it. And that then takes us to, what's Moira doing?
Okay, I'm gonna attack.
Okay. It's lit up,
And-
neatly
Yeah.
outlined, ready to spot.
So if I want to do 2-weapon fighting, is that only as a bonus action, or that means I can use 2?
If you make an attack with your main hand, you can use a bonus action to make an attack with your offhand if both weapons are light.
A rapier and a dagger.
Oddly, do not do that
Okay.
because a rapier is not light.
Ah. Okay.
It's not.
Can't just
finesse.
punch him with the other one, can I?
No, that threw
Oh.
me for a loop too. If you have a rapier as your main hand, you can't get a bonus attack with the offhand.
Because it doesn't count as light.
Right.
Okay.
Your main weapon's not small enough, which it kind of ruins that image people have of the,
It also. 2-weapon fighting's a tease. It is, because I always think I could do it. I could never do it. Always done something wrong. Anyway, I'm
you need
gonna,
a feat. Exactly.
I'm gonna hit it with the rapier, and I'm gonna punch it with the other hand if I can.
Well, you can,
Why not?
because
I'm
that would
gonna
be,
hit it with the rapier.
you can hit with the rapier.
I can hit it with the rapier.
You can hit with the
Hit it
rapier.
with the rapier. No, I won't. I don't know. Does a 10 hit?
No. Yes,
No.
actually it does.
Oh, yay!
I was going to say, yeah, you totally can.
Woo.
I was about to, and plus you would get to roll again anyways because they're outlined
Oh.
in,
It was advantage, so fire.
right. So that's
7 damage.
pretty solid.
Double.
You should come up really well.
Yay! And I'm gonna be all annoyed that I can't do something else. Because I don't think anybody needs healing yet. So
Not yet. They're all in pretty good
move
shape.
off it. I'm gonna. If any of the people from the caravans on the ground, I'm just gonna try and get between them and a zombie. If there's any being threatened, I don't know if anybody fell out of the cart when they're.
Nobody has yet.
That's all
He
I can
said
do, I think.
pointedly. What's Winnie doing?
So there's 3 left. Is
Mhm.
the bloodied one the one that's under the cart?
No, that's when Moira just stuck.
Okay. I will go after one of the other ones then. And so Shillelagh I can cast before I hit, right?
Yep.
Okay. I would like to Shillelagh, please.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's going to.
Oh my goodness. A million to hit. 23 to hit.
That does not miss.
Oh, amazing. Just rolling. So good. 9 damage.
That's solid. Is that the one that's wound? That's a different one, right? You're trying to get.
Yeah,
its
I'm going
attention?
after a different whoever's like getting the furthest into the wagon. I think I would just
Okay.
just put the smack down.
Yeah, for first level, the druid's kicking out some pretty good damage. I'm going to have to fix that.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Chalet. Big druid stick lasts for 1 minute. Yeah, and as a cantrip, it's like it's an assumed free bonus action to go ha thwackada. Which some of us remember the good old days where you had to use a whole combat round to get your staff ready. Okay, so one of them's fighting Moira and is going to continue to fight back against her. Ooh. And is going to connect for 4. Unless there's something I don't know about
No.
interesting reactions.
Just opportunity attack.
Okay, so yeah, that's going to hurt. One's going to do what it can to beat Winnie because, it's not happy with getting clubbed and is not getting through her defenses. And the third is just going to lash out at Sierra's legs from under the wagon. Ineffectually.
Do I get to hit it with the opportunity attack?
It did not enter into combat with you. Or rather, it did not try to leave combat. So the opportunities would be if it tries to run away from you. And right now, they're quite content to beat on you.
Yeah.
What is the situation looking like around Linton
Lennon,
currently?
he actually has nothing around him at the exact pressing moment. There's a zombie trying to claw at Sierra from underneath the wagon, and Moira and Winnie are each fencing with their own. The wagon has been pulled back down so it's flat.
And I saw Moira get hit.
Yes.
Cool. Linton is going to move over to Moira and quickly swap his Morningstar into his shield hand and then tag her shoulder for a lay on hands. I'm going to give her 4 back.
I love you. Have I told you that recently? Thank you.
Nice.
You're awesome.
Very timely. One does not dance with any wounds at first level.
Every wound is lethal at first level.
Yeah,
Yes.
it really is.
Yes, they are.
Do I have any bonus actions? Nope. That will be his turn.
That'll be it. Hey, it's a significant contribution. What's our ranger
I
doing?
appreciate it.
She is going to head over to the zombie that was fighting with Moira and take a swing.
Okay.
This short sword's working out.
It's a short step. You're not going to leave the one that's clawing at you or anything.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
That's okay.
Ye-
You can
I
stay
would like
within
to
his.
keep within.
That's a hit. So throw some damage down.
It was like a gentle scratch, so I barely even noticed it.
Is that how that works? Copy image. Close that.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
7. That would be this one. And Sierra steps up and dispatches it.
Awesome. So with two weapon fighting, can I use my second weapon on a different enemy then?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that actually. So I'll go for the one at my leggies then.
Oh, okay. You don't want to go for the wounded one that's picking on Winnie?
Is it picking on one? Oh, it is. They're fighting. Yeah, I would like that one actually. I wanna
Roll
protect
damage.
My friends. Da-da. B5.
How much do you splat it? Significantly. So Sierra takes a couple of side steps around the one picking at her, sticks one blade through the one in front of Moira, and then spins and takes the head off the one in front of Winnie. And they both kind of drop to their knees and sink down into the mud.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Anytime.
So after having been rescued, what's Moira's doing?
You two are so cool. All right, I'm gonna check around and make sure I'm gonna stab the one. I'm gonna look under the cart at the one that was
Climbing out from under it?
yeah, and then just go hello.
I've never wished for someone to roll a 20 so much in my life as the DM.
I only rolled it a 14, so
That's
so
okay.
close, and yet.
Give us some damage.
All right, that one. 8.
Jeez. Yeah, don't complain too much about not having your second shot. Your base damage capacity with one hit with a rapier is like a double weapon
Very
attack.
Nice.
It's very swingy though. 1d8 is a big
Risky.
range.
That +3 helps.
Can you tell I teach math as my day job? So, speaking of day jobs, what's Nana Winnie doing?
Shillelagh, the last guy. Do I have to? It's a cantrip, but
You don't need to recast it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
active. It stays active for I think Wooly said for an hour or no for a minute, which in combat terms is like an hour.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, so far this whole combat's taken less than about 30 seconds.
Oh, my worst roll of tonight, but it still is at a 12.
It's still a hit.
Okay.
Okay, isn't a minute like 10 rounds? Is that wrong?
A round is roughly 6 seconds,
6 damage.
which is still a significant amount of time when you think about combat. And he goes splat. Shillelagh lay into him.
Oh no!
I like it. I like it. Yeah, you lay into them, and the last zombie is smashed down into, literally smashed down into the mud with a spray that goes flying up on either side of it. It's a mix of mud, blood, bone, and sinew as the magical club lands and dispatches what's left of the animated undead. You have a moment to pause, and as you glance back over your shoulders, you spot that the wagon, the second to last wagon in the caravan, you hear this massive crashing sound, and you watch as the light on top of it just seems to drop into the ground and go out.
Oh, come on! No.
Where's Mac? Where is
In
Mac?
the first caravan, we haven't even gotten to the first one yet. This is the second one we were defending.
As you pause, I'll put that up on the board. That thing leaps out of the fog and lands square in the middle of the wagon you're standing around.
Well, that's not a good sign.
It howls to the heavens as everyone in the wagon begins clambering over the sides of it to find somewhere else to be. Its entire action is going to make sure as few of them as possible actually get out of the wagon.
Can I hit it with Dissonant Whisper?
You can in 2 actions
Not
on
yet.
the
Oh,
initiative
that's
tracker.
right. Sorry.
Yeah, its action was to just jump in there and make a lot of noise. So I'll let Linton do something if he so chooses.
As my interact, I'm going to stow my Morning Star and pull out a javelin to throw at the feral zombie.
Good call.
I cannot get up there. 15.
The 15 is a hit.
All right. For 6 points of piercing damage.
That's a solid hit.
And
It literally like turns and howls and grabs the javelin and breaks it off. It has enough wherewithal to identify a threat.
as a free action, Lyndon raises his shield in front of him nervously. But that's my turn.
That's right. What's Sierra doing?
So would it take too much effort to get on top? Like if Sierra was to do, her thing and charge at him, how hard would that be for her to get up there?
You getting up into the wagon around everyone spilling out of it. I would need an athletics check to not hit somebody on your way in.
Okay. Would I actually? I'm gonna use my longbow instead then.
Okay.
So I swap out my swords.
With a practiced
bow.
motion,
Yeah.
blades go
Been
in,
dreaming about this
longbow
moment,
comes
yeah.
out.
I've rehearsed it a few times.
Yeah. You are competent at swapping between weapons.
Cool. So that was a 14.
Okay, let's put a little damage on it then. How much does it get mad at you as well?
9 points damage.
That's pretty mad.
And Sierra uses her bonus action to just be like, "Bleh."
So let me get this straight. Linton is hiding behind his shield, confident he's about to become disemboweled. Sierra's standing next to him, firing arrows at it, screaming, "Come at me."
Yeah.
Okay. It's a free action to add any banter to that if you want to, RJ.
No, come at me. What are you talking about, Sierra? I'm the tank.
I got excited.
What's Moira doing?
I'm gonna hit it with Dissonant Whisper and hope for a Bing Crosby and Bing and Bob sketch between Sierra and Linton there. I'm gonna hit it with Dissonant Whisper, which they have to do a Wisdom save. I think he has to be to 13, which is my Wisdom. Yeah. And if he fails, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
What kind of damage is it? It is psychic damage. Okay, and it's what kind of save?
Wisdom.
Okay. Wisdom. Okay, roll the damage.
Woo-hoo. 10.
10.
And it has to try and move as far as it can away from me.
Okay, so it leaps off the far side of the wagon as it turns and rushes from you. It lands right square in the middle of a group of pilgrims that had kind of started to huddle, waiting to see what's going on, and they just take off into the woods. Trying to stay as far away from it as they can. At this point, Winnie, for reference sake, there's all four of you, a wagon, people running in every direction into the fog. On the opposite side of the wagon is this feral zombie, and more people running into the fog.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Fantastic. Is it possible to get within 30 feet of this creature?
Yeah.
I would like to thorn whip that guy and drag him 10 feet even closer.
Okay. That is absolutely doable.
Okay.
Yeah, you climb up onto the wagon. You've got a clean shot at him. He's howling. Literally, just all you can hear is his howl. No, you can't. I can't describe the number of sounds that there are.
So is it 18 to hit? I assume
yeah.
that hits.
That should hit.
Okay. And
Heck, an 18 would hit Linton.
So he does get pulled 10 feet closer to me and takes 3 points of damage.
Okay. You whip him and pull him back through the mud, which he is still howling in pain from whatever it was that Moira did. Yeah, that works out really well. And now it gets to do something. It shakes its head a few times and seems like it sniffs the air. Looks down at the whip, the magic whip that was around it, and starts to reach at it and watches as its hand passes through the energy as it dissipates. Looks up at Winnie, and instead of doing anything else, it leaps onto the wagon next to her. I would love if Winnie would do me a quick favor and roll me a Constitution save.
Oh boy. All right. 14?
That's good enough. You are rapidly overtaken. You're assaulted first by the horrid stench of whatever this thing was while it was decaying. You're able to kind of like keep from vomiting on it and stay aware of your actions, but it's still really gross.
Ugh.
As you kind of like try to get your bearings through all of that. Sorry. I should have a sound file I can play of DM rolls dice just so you know why I suddenly stop mid-sentence.
Is that a good roll or a bad roll?
I'm guessing not as good as he was hoping.
It might be
No.
bad for Winnie.
No.
True.
No, it's the other kind of bad.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad for me.
Yeah. Winnie's going to take 6 damage. And then she's going to roll me another con save.
Oh, I have a question about a racial ability.
Which is?
Can I hidden step as it's a bonus action to just go invisible for a round? Can I do that?
Not as a reaction.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you could do it as a reaction. Okay.
As
I
a
can do
bonus action. So
con
that's be on your turn.
Okay.
Which, if you think of in this sequence, Winnie was like, he's not going to do that. He can't do that. Climbs up the sideway. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Whack. And then it turns, and Winnie goes, oh dear.
Yeah.
And the next thing she knows, this thing's on top of her.
Okay. So another con save, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
You did. That's legit.
Oh, natural 20 plus 2. 22. Don't mess with Grandma. She has a little bag of potpourri.
That works. That works. You feel its poison searing through your body from where it clawed into you. And you're able to maintain enough movement to shake it off. Maybe it's that furbog blood that's keeping you going. Maybe it's something else. It's hard to say. But it howls and roars as it continues to claw. And you can hear it on the sound of another one down the road back towards where the other wagons were, as though they're starting to coordinate. I won't make Sierra roll survival, but Sierra will quickly pick out that they are identifying where the danger is. And it is here. Which I would then love to know what Linton's action will be.
Get that Mother Hubber off of the Nana. Right now, I'm gonna try and save whoever I can. And Winnie's not looking great, Javelin.
Fair enough.
12 to hit.
No, it actually ducks under. It grazes it, but it's able to spot the incoming javelin shot and kind of duck under it a bit and snarl back at Linton.
You talk a big game, buddy, but you better get your butt down here so you could cash it, I guess. Shield. Don't worry, once I get my challenge, it'll be fine. That's his turn. Or could I use my movement to get up on the wagon with some scrambling?
Absolutely. That is totally doable. Sierra's up.
Sierra's ready to put a arrow through him very aggressively.
Very aggressively. Is there any other way to shoot something with an arrow?
Gracefully, you know.
Just for reference.
On horseback.
That's not going to connect.
Great. So she's also just making a lot of noise. Also is yelling. They're at least scared of us.
So we've got Linton is up there. Feral. Zombie is up there. Sarah's also climbing up.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. And the last I saw, Moira was over there somewhere. So the two of you are standing side by side in the wagon back. There's no horse anymore. Tiffany, we can't hear you.
Because it doesn't surprise me. It's still Sierra's turn, right?
It was. She took the shot. She jumped up there. I updated the quick sketch about where everyone is relative to each other, and that makes it Moira's chance.
Okay. I'd like to throw a healing word at Winnie.
Okay. Put some dice down to see how much she feels encouraged by your kind words.
6 points.
That's pretty good. You have your that's a bonus action to cast, so you have a full action. You just can't cast another spell.
That's okay. I want to go stabby the guy. That guy there. I'm gonna hit it with this stick. A point at the end. I'm gonna fly over if I can and hit it with my rapier.
Wow.
24.
That's a hit.
Ooh, with 11 points of damage. That's so exciting.
That kills it.
Woo! Down. Who knows how many to go?
Yeah, Moira lands, behind it. And there's a moment where you're like, where'd Moira go? And then you watch as it looks down as a rapier blade sticks out of its chest. And then the blade twists. And it sort of falls forward.
And I'm just behind it going,
You look around and you can hear, as it goes down, it makes out a different kind of howl, which is echoed back along the road. And then everything goes perfectly quiet.
Oh, that's not good.
In fact, you notice the rain has stopped. You are standing on a wagon. The horse is gone. And you're surrounded simply by the stench of death.
Go investigate?
Go where?
Well, let's go forward and see how Mac is. If anybody survived there, because there should be right there.
I was gonna say, do we know where Mac went, or can we hear the people who ran off of the wagon? Can we hear them out in the woods?
No, there's no sound. The only sound you can hear at this point are the creaks of your boots against the wood of the wagon.
So the mist and rain went away, and these creatures either went quiet or went away?
Yes. The fog is still significant.
Okay. I was hoping that went away.
No. You can still... The
lucky.
rain has stopped, but the fog has lingered. You can jump down into the mud and start to follow what should be the road forward.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
The rains have...
Or flutter.
Flutter, as it were. The rains have been heavy enough that you're not even sure if you're on the road.
Right.
As you slosh forward in the mud. You walk for about 30, 40, maybe 50 steps and think there should be a wagon here by now. And there isn't. Out of curiosity, are all of you traveling together or did Moira just walk off?
I went with Moira.
Yeah, I won't.
Yeah.
leave.
Linton's going to tap Winnie on the hand and give her the last remaining lay on hand point.
Oh, I'm full up.
Are you
don't
full
have
up?
to do... Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm full up.
Okay.
I only have 10 points, so the 6 healed me completely.
Sick.
First level characters are so much fun.
And so squishy.
But I appreciate the pat of encouragement.
They're there. You did great.
Thank you, Linton. Yeah, I think I'd go with Moira and
Okay.
Sierra, though, for sure.
Yeah, you keep walking, you get walking, and you start to realize there's no wagon number 2.
Oh.
Are there any marks in the mud or anything to see where it could have gone? Like if there's like wheel trails or anything?
Sure, give me a survival check. Make sure that y'all are hydrated.
I look. I really like mud.
You do. And it as you look around, there are no. You're not even sure if you're on the road anymore. In fact, at one point you slam your foot into a stump. It's like, okay, that's not part of the road. We must have gone off of it. And as you kind of lead the party back towards the road, you start to wonder where the road was. Does someone else want to
These
make a
toll guys
survival
did a
check to
crap
find
job.
the road?
I'll do a survival check.
Yeah.
Can I assist someone to give them
Oh.
advantage?
The first terrible roll. 8.
Oh no!
I love mud too.
Linton's got your back. Roll it with advantage as he's trying to help point at things to you.
Oh, I do it. So I roll again?
Yeah, we'll roll again, see the better of the two.
Okay.
Remember I mentioned earlier that whole thing about the law of averages was going to catch up with you?
13's a little better.
Good night, Ruby. Thank you for coming by. We're glad you're having a good time. And if you want to see how this ends without having to wait for next week's update, the VOD will be up on Twitch and the YouTube video will be up sometime tomorrow. So you can just jump to the, where are we at? 2 hour and 45 minute mark. So you can just pick it up from there. Listen to it like a podcast. So you start to lead the group back. You're able to pick up a road, and after a few steps, you're back at the broken wagon that you left.
Is there another wagon behind our wagon?
You'd have to go look for it.
I would walk around to look. Like it's not it should be immediately behind it, right?
Well, it was far enough back that it was obscured by the fog.
Oh.
And you're like, well, it should be right back there through the fog.
I would walk, but only like the 30 or so feet that I think it is, because we definitely know they were. I mean, these wagons were traveling how far apart?
Not that, I mean, far enough apart that the horses weren't going to run into the back of the wagons if someone stopped suddenly.
So would you guesstimate like 30-ish feet?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay.
It
I
should
will
just be
walk-
right through the fog.
Yeah, I'll just walk
Yeah,
30 feet.
no
I'll
problem.
count my steps. Is there anything there?
You start to walk and slosh through the mud, and you're still pretty sure you're on the road, but after 30 steps, there's no sign of the wagon.
I will go back to the broken wagon. I believe we are lost.
Oh.
Something very weird is happening here.
All right. I'm gonna need y'all to keep an eye out for a hot second. And Linton will close his eyes and use his divine senses. As an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of my next turn, sense anything affected by the Hull spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend and undead within 60 feet, not behind total cover.
That's a good ability. You can pick up a lot of undead off the road would be to your left. Now, to be fair, that's where a lot of the pilgrims ran. But you can pick up at least 5 distinct essences at the edge of your detection range.
Uh-oh.
You also, as you come out of the trance and you've had some time to reconnoiter, you can see a lot of the footprints in the mud head off the road to the right side. As everyone scattered, they went out the sides of the road. So you could try tracking them that way. Or you can head towards the undead.
we've got two options. One, we are not alone. There are a lot of undead in that direction. Second option, we can go and look for the pilgrims, and then he'll point in the other direction.
The DM would point out the third option of trying to go back to town.
Linton will not. They were hired for a job.
Yeah, I would feel really bad about just leaving. I mean, the pilgrims are pretty defenseless.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should try and help the pilgrims.
That and they were so unprepared. I doubt any of them
Yeah.
really even know how to start a fire. I think if they get lost in these woods, they're toast, you know?
Yeah, we should help them.
All right.
That's in a weird way. If we're really meant to fight undead, they will find us.
You know, you make a point. Hi.
My little one. Hi. Yeah.
They don't stay little for long. Let me tell you.
She's very tall.
Yep. Yep. We're at the stage now where my teen will say something, and the spouse will think it's me talking.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've hit that
Yep.
phase.
I never hit that phase.
The only thing saving us from that is they just speak very differently in their styling.
Yep. I hear ya. So the plan?
After the pilgrims, right?
Let's
Sounds
find
like
some
it.
helpless people.
Is there a way to like track them? I'm not great at that kind of stuff. I don't think. I don't know what that would be, but is
That's
that a
survival,
thing?
maybe?
That sounds like a survival check. Who's leading the way?
Looks to the party ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Rangers probably got the best.
Oh,
I-
I'm
Oh
the
no!
best suited for this job. Especially the best there ever was.
Can I assist? Can I assist in this?
Maybe re-roll that one? I don't know what it was, but I'm guessing.
I mean, what's your favorite terrain? Don't you get like some fun
Yeah,
bonuses?
some mountains.
Ah.
Yeah, not the forest.
Can I try a survival there?
I know I have a +3 to survival. How is
Oh.
this?
How do I have only a plus
I was
one?
about
How
to
does
say,
a
how is it
ranger only have a
possible that you
+1?
have a +1?
How did we let that happen?
I don't
What kind of ranger
I
are
don't know.
you?
I don't know. I have a +4 in sleight of hand for some reason.
playing in the mud.
Oh, it might be
Plus
proficiencies.
Oh.
Yeah, you're just not
Well-
proficient in survival.
Do you
Yeah.
want to try rolling there, Winnie?
Yeah,
Oh.
can I?
3?
Well, let's get the first of all, as you start off into the woods, I'll point out that as we're in our last about half hour of gaming tonight, I did open the sticker raffle. So !point crit to join. And if we get to 20 or more entries, which I don't think we're going to get to tonight, we upgrade from stickers to a chocolate gift pack.
Ooh.
So, and we'll let that run until we're more or less done with the stream. So, just as kind of a fun thing to think about and contribute to. So, you set off into the on the trail of what you believe are the pilgrims. You go about 100, 150 feet, and the three of you realize that as confident as Sierra is with this plan, there is no sign you are following an established trail.
Oh dear. Maybe
The only
maybe we
footprints you can see are hers.
maybe we backtrack a little, dear, and we look for the footprints or something.
What? No, there's the mud here.
Mm. It's
was following-
beautiful mud, dear. It's
Isn't
beautiful
it? It's
mud.
great. It's great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe you're right. I feel just a little. I got a little adrenaline going. Maybe I'm just need a breather.
Yeah.
I hand you a lint-covered cookie to replenish. They're not good. They're old. They're very stale.
She smiles through it anyway and still eats the whole thing.
A lot of butter.
A lot of butter. A lot of
So
butter.
much.
That always helps, actually.
I'm open to whoever wants to try to take the lead before you get too much further off course.
I will. I will do this.
I'll give you advantage just to help out.
Yeah, is there any way to help out?
Oh my
Give
goodness.
a little
Oh,
chord
I don't like
of-
that sound.
An 8.
Wow.
Well, you've got
Lost.
advantage. Linton's trying to help.
Oh, okay.
He thinks he sees something in the mud.
Two hobbits lay here.
A 12.
Better. You're moving in the general right direction as you start to point which way you think everyone should go. And you start to make your way along. You are able to pick up what looks like a couple of trails of people, and then the footprints just get lighter and lighter, as though like they're just not as deep, until after about half an hour, you realize that you're not following a trail anymore.
What did the consistency of the mud? Like, is it lighter because the ground's getting harder? Or is it lighter because they are becoming lighter?
It's yes.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. You start to take stock and think and realize that you're not entirely sure even which way that you're going. And as you set out in a direction that you think will resume the path, the fog begins to lighten. And the mud changes to the feel of that pine needle floor of a pine savanna that you were in before. It's been about half an hour, and the fog will completely clear. And you find yourselves walking down a small slope out of a forest into a clearing.
If we look back, do we see any sign of carriages or road or anything? Half an hour out, probably not.
If you look back as the fog clears, you start to look back where you've been. All you see are the pine trees, some light foothills, and actually a bit of a slope upwards. As you take a few more steps out so you can look up past the pine trees, you see that you are at the base of a mountain range. You've come down
definitely
into a
weren't-
valley.
Like, we were
That's
not
not
on a
right.
mountain, right?
No, gosh, no.
But we're not where we. That was not a normal fog. Am I alone in this, or do other people think that's not right?
This
Yeah,
is not
something's-
right.
Something's messed up here.
I don't like this at all.
I'm with the tall guy.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with it because there's a mountain. I feel good about that.
Well, but
It's your
did the
favorite
people-
terrain.
Were the people killed? Were they not killed? Was it all real? Was it not real? What's going on?
That's those. Yeah, those are valid questions.
Winnie, what did you put in your cookies?
I don't know what I put in the cookies, but I could use
Butter,
a stiff cup of tea
mint.
right now.
Sarah pulls out a flask and offers it to Winnie, saying,
Thank you, dear.
"Yes, it's not tea, but
But it is stiff.
I don't think Winnie minds at this point.
I think we might need to settle down and get our bearings.
Should I fly up and see if I can see anything over the trees, maybe? I don't think I can get that high. I don't know how high I can fly.
Oh, are there any beasts like birds or a squirrel perhaps about?
Is there noise again now that the fog has lifted?
Yes. you do pick up you start to pick up the sounds of wildlife. You can pick out this flutters of some birds in the distance, maybe the sound of the scampering of a squirrel somewhere within earshot.
I have speech of beast and leaf, but it says I can communicate with beasts and plants, though I cannot understand them, so they can understand me. Is there, I don't know, is there a friendly bird that I could chat with?
Maybe. Roll me an animal handling. See if you can get one of their attention and coax it in your general direction.
18.
Yeah. You can get one of the bird's attentions and see if you can pull it over towards you.
Hello, Mr. Bird. Would it be possible for you to point your beak in the direction of where the pilgrims happen to run off? You know, the people in all black. Is anyone wearing black? Can I point to like the color black? Anyone wearing all black?
You can communicate that to him. You say black. He actually has no concept. Oh, he knows black because it's within his color range. Yeah, you're able to communicate. It looks at you profoundly confused and doesn't actually point in any given direction. It literally just kind of rolls its head almost all the way over like, I have no idea what you are talking about, lady.
Have you seen any people through this area, Mr. Bird?
It bobs its head a few times.
Would you be able to point us in the direction of those people?
It bobs a few more times and then takes off and flies more or less in the direction you were heading down the slope into the valley.
I scream, "Follow that bird!" I just run after the bird.
We halflings were made for sprinting.
You collectively take off after the bird, and it lands on a stump at the top of a hill. As you come over the rise, you can see where the slope continues down into a deeper valley, and there's a fair-sized town at the base of the slope.
I will thank the bird and give him a piece of biscuit, a crumb of biscuit.
It picks at it a few times, swallows it up, and then flies off.
We're going into town?
Do we think that they made it this far?
I'm beginning to wonder if we're in the same realm as the people.
How is it possible for you to travel realms without knowing?
I have no idea. But fog is scary.
As you say that, you also will take a moment to notice that as much as the fog has cleared, the sky remains oppressively overcast. It's not quite dark, but it's definitely, like, your brains tell you it's about time for a light supper and then some ale before sleep. It shouldn't be dark yet. But the cloud cover is the kind that comes with a major storm. The kinds that the two sailors would know. When it's this dark during the day, you pretty much just tie down all the sails and hope nothing bad happens.
If we went into town, we could at least find out where we are in relation to where we were.
Right.
Maybe. Oh, go ahead.
I don't feel like roughing it out in the wilderness with zombies around, so
I think in my travels, am I trying to be a bard? Have I heard of any stories about disappearing one from one place in a fog and ending up someplace else?
Oh, for giggles, roll me a history.
Woohoo!
You take proficiency for a reason. Did it pay off?
No, no.
Nope.
Not unless a 5 does much better than I think it does.
No, but
I wonder if this make a great story.
there is at least one story you can recall of ships at sea disappearing in banks of fog and being beset by the legions of the damned.
But never coming out the other side into a different place.
No, it's always kind of interesting because the stories are always the storytellers are always very, very confident that they've seen these, but they never fully adequately explain how it is that they survived to tell the tale. You know, the ship was pulled into the fog bank and all hands were lost. All hands? Aye, all hands fought valiantly and were slain. All hands?
But he holds up no hands.
Oh no. Oh no.
But bump. So you continue. Are you heading into town then? Okay. I will point out as you approach, you do notice there are a couple of outlying farms that you could also stop at, or you can head straight into what looks like where a cobblestone road is starting to show itself. That would lead you into the town on one of the thoroughfares.
Could we maybe check out a farm or two on the way in? See if they look weird or know anything? Or if there's people? I'd like to check out a farm on the way in.
Okay, fair enough. You start to approach the farm itself as you walk along. The outer fences are not maintained. And as you get closer to the farmhouse itself, there are two things that catch your eyes at about the same time. The first is that there are barricades built around the doors. Split rail fencing's been turned into some kind of like a makeshift palisade or chevaux de frise, something to break up an attack. Second is that all the farm implements look rusted and gone. The plow doesn't actually have handles. It's just a plow blade sitting there, mostly rusted. There's not even any leather to lash it to an animal with.
Something is very, very wrong here.
You approach the house?
Yeah.
Okay. It's eerily quiet. There are no sounds of chickens or sheep. And as you get to the door, knock, and then eventually let yourselves in, the house is completely abandoned.
Signs of violence or just signs that...
There may have been a fight in here at some point.
Not been for a long time.
Are you moving on or are you staying to search? I want to make no assumptions.
Should we search or just move on in? Doesn't look like anything's here. What do you guys want
I'll
to do?
give a quick little peek-a-roo.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do a quick search.
You head towards let yourselves in. Most of the rooms do show that there was some kind of like struggle. A lot of the furniture is broken or collapsed. You move back into the kitchen where things are completely just not kept. But what catches you off guard is that the pantry is fully stocked. As you pull back the curtain, there's sacks of flour. Several of the bowls have dough rising in them. There's wrapped, fresh baked bread.
So it wasn't abandoned that long ago.
No, in fact, the bread's still slightly warm. It's like ideal eating temperature.
Hello?
I would like to eat a little bit of it.
Kind of sounds good. We're eating some of your bread.
I mean, you survived a Winnie biscuit. I think the bread won't kill you if you can survive.
She like gulps it. Oh, sorry. Did you guys want some? It's really good.
Oh, no, dear. You enjoy that.
I'll take some.
Well,
Offer
it
it to Linton. Linton?
Yeah.
We'll check the other area.
As someone whose deity is of house and home, we've just invaded someone's home and you're eating from their pantry.
They're abandoned. They didn't
To
want
be
it.
fair, we're trying to see if they need any help, but there doesn't appear to be any here. With oh great, Sheila Lollipop, please allow us this humble offering from your bounty. You're super cool, and hopefully the people are safe.
Also, wouldn't it be like a sin to let this food go to waste? Just saying.
Now you bring up the tenants when it benefits you the most. Yes, it would be a sin to let all this food go to waste, but we gotta make
Great.
sure that no one's here.
Well, we are. So let's, have a little bit, and make sure it's still healthy for them. Quality control it, right? We don't want them to eat bad bread.
Linton goes into his pouch and puts a gold coin on the table.
Well,
Go
that's a good
nuts!
option, Well, I think
Here, just
we'll
keeps
to
eating.
that.
Like, anyone here? Between like mouthfuls of bread.
Yeah. Take some bread and keep looking.
Okay. You grab a couple of fresh loaves of bread, and it's perfectly great. It's the kind of bread you would bake if you lived in a farmhouse. It's not artisanal, but it's very comfortable.
Tasty and homey.
Yeah, I mean it's solid. It's a little dense, but that makes sense. You don't get fancy out on a farm. You want to get a good solid meal quickly. There's also a wheel of cheese, a couple of bottles of milk. There's even a small growler that still has a bit of fizz to it.
Is there like
If you need
thick
ale.
amounts of dust on the furniture? Like, does it seem like this food is good and there have not been people here for a long time? Or does it seem like people just disappeared?
I would say that there's a layer of dirt and dust in the house that is conspicuously absent on the food.
In the kitchen in general, or just on the food?
Just kind of, well, the kitchen, like now that you look at it, you kind of go up by under the windowsill, and yeah, there's a layer of dust on the windowsill.
Like on maybe like tables and chairs, or are those clean?
No,
Okay.
like everything. Like this, people have not been in here for some time.
And this
Put
is
the
like
bread I haven't eaten back.
fresh. Yeah, this is like fresh food. Okay, guys, this is not. I think that there's something funky going. This is some Hansel and Gretel kind of. I recommend Sierra. Maybe I have a biscuit if you would like to try. I'll trade you a biscuit for the.
How about you trade her not a
Okay.
biscuit?
Okay, I will trade her a lint covered biscuit. Take the bread and put it down. No, thank you.
Continues eating it.
I'm sure you detect magic. There's something useful.
Molly, can Winnie roll me a quick perception check?
Yes.
And I would also think Linton should do the same,
Oh,
given his overall panic about the situation you all are in.
I have such good perception. I rolled so badly.
Okay. Those are good data points. We'll see if anything else comes from it. Do you want to stay in here for a bit, or are you thinking it's time to head into the town proper?
I wanted to cast detect magic on the food.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
Absolutely, you can do that.
Okay. There's no like roll for that, is there?
No, you cast it.
Okay.
What do you see when you look at it? Hey, Booja, you did not jinx her luck. Her luck ran out because the law of averages says everything balances eventually. And don't
It's
forget
true.
exclamation point crit if you want stickers. There should be a reminder should pop up. I thought I had the reminder turned on. But I can throw it in chat too. What was I double checking? I was double checking the effects of detect magic. I just want to make sure I give you all of the information I'm supposed to give you. you learn at school, if any? Okay. There is a faint aura of magic radiating from the pantry. The School of Magic is a blend of conjuration and necromancy.
Oh, not great. Not great. Okay.
I think RJ's look a moment ago said it all.
I'll also let you reroll that perception check.
Me?
Yep. Now that you're like, is there there's magic in the pantry. Oh, there's magic in the pantry.
Ah, even worse.
You roll it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I feel like we're missing something. Can I?
You want to burn a reroll?
Maybe just one? It's almost the end of the night.
Yeah, go for it.
If it's bad, it's bad, and that's just what
And that's
we
just
live
the way
with.
the world works.
But it is not. It so is not 23. Yes, yes.
That's a clip I'm keeping for later. As you stand in front of the pantry and you start to like try to take in this blend of magics, you look and all of the bread that has been taken out has been replaced.
Oh, don't like
The
that.
pantry is completely stocked.
Hate it. Hate it. Absolutely hate
In fact, 2 of the bottles of milk have been replaced with additional small kegs of ale. Almost as though it had reacted to Moira's thought of, who needs milk? We need more beer.
it. Do
And
not
that
eat or drink.
seems like a great
like,
place
oh,
to
ale.
stop for the week.
Sadly, it is a great place. No!
What a lovely collection of conundrums.
Oh, darn it.
Sierra ate some.
So did I. So did
Oh
Moira.
God, and Moira. Oh God.
Well, it's not like anyone will notice. It's been replaced.
Did Linton's coin disappear? Did he put a coin on top of the
Oh,
bread?
yeah, no, it's still there.
Okay. Did it multiply?
No.
Darn it. Looking for an upside.
Don't worry, you got some more time to find out what's going on.
True.
You got a whole campaign ahead of you.
We do. We
This
do.
is
What
just-
a way to start. Oh my goodness.
This is just the first session.
This was
I
a
know.
lot for a first
This is
session.
crazy.
It was.
Not
We
really.
failed in so many ways.
All I did was let you guys kill some undead and then get you into the adventure. With a slightly longer than expected detour of what blew up the broken axle.
Oh, well, yeah. We do that.
Yeah, well, you see, Daz, Hart, and Ty decided to go in there, and and I'm sorry, I will never forget that night because that was just such a crazy bit of happenstance.
I was the only person to not get dusted that session. Everyone else got double their HP and damage.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was bad. I ruled it a TP total party wipe simply on the principle of, but no one's coming to stabilize you.
Oh,
I mean, let's be honest. If the bar at the end of the street erupted in a level 4 fireball, would you rush into that?
No. No.
But enough with that. So what are the major thoughts I have as we wind down tonight? How are we doing? What are we excited about for next time?
Oh man, I wish I had some ale with this bread.
So many questions.
Internally screaming.
yeah. I am
Yeah.
super concerned that that's going to do something to you guys.
Listen, if we can get a long rest
You
in,
get
I
a
can
good
save one of you from a disease.
That's true. I
Take a
wonder if we
little
can get a
nap.
really good story out of this. I can get a song out of this. Is there an audience?
I wonder what purify food and drink would do to magic food.
Ooh.
See, and I was wondering if the bowls were magic and replenishable, and that could be really useful on the road.
Rob is like, do not make me do thought.
Oh no, I'm fine on thoughts.
How many of these can I use against you later?
I know where this is all going. I just have to let you guys figure out how you're going to find all the pieces. And then I mostly sit back, and at a certain point I go, okay, here's where you found yourselves. And you all go, oh, yeah, that's where we found ourselves.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, now what do you want to do? And you go, oh, that's right, we got to do something.
Try.
There are always options. Plus, I added a whole like third faction to this too. I'm really excited for you to meet them.
There's more.
There's more. And with all, the second time you run a campaign is always better than the first because you've had a chance to like think about other angles to pursue.
And you're trying to learn it at the same time.
Okay, so official wind downs. If you haven't gotten in on the giveaway and you're still hanging out with us, and I'm starting to think maybe I should do my steer giveaways at the top of the stream instead of the back end of the streams.
Yeah.
As the evenings wind on. And I understand people move from chatting to lurking. Exclamation point crit gets you in, and we have stickers. I will take a moment to plug Sweet Steam, where you can get butterscotch chocolate, also known as Butterbeard, the Fizzy Wizard. And it is an epically large chunk of chocolate. Effervescent butterscotch. So lots of really neat stuff over there. And Steam Noir is the discount code at their website, which I adore having that on there. And I hope people take advantage of it because they make great stuff. So, let's see. I was trying to remember what order we went before, but let's wind it backwards. RJ, what's going on? What have you got coming up this week? What should we be on the lookout for to see more of what you're doing, either on, offline? What's coming in over the next 7 days that you're geeked about?
So on Thursday we play a Good Society game called Elegant Magics, which uses the extended factions and like a magic pack to make Jane Austen's Regency era magical. Currently, one of our party members has been Groundhog Day'd. So they have relived the same day about 50 days in a row. What they're trying to do is learn how everyone uses their magic, because it's noble houses and each one specializes in a different way to use magic. The facilitator left us on a cliffhanger where someone back in town is being kidnapped by a werewolf repeatedly every single night because they too have been Groundhog Day'd.
Oh, gosh.
And the werewolf is my brother. I swear to God, if he's hurt her, I'm going to shoot him.
That is awesome. That's tomorrow night?
That is tomorrow night over at G Game Nights.
G Nights. Okay.
And whenever I go live anywhere, I normally retweet, so
Hit the
just wait to
Twitters.
on Twitter. And that's it for me.
We can do that. Tiffany, what's going on in your world this week? What gaming events are you geeked about?
I actually don't have anything coming up this week. And the next one, our Thursday game is on hiatus for a couple more weeks just because of life. And the next one's going to be next Wednesday and then next Saturday. So very excited. I should be reading through and plotting a bunch of games. But instead I will decat here my computer because this one's been shedding all over it. I got nothing good. I should go watch other people's streams.
As cats do.
Yeah.
Okay, Pond. What are we going to find over in your neck of the internets? Or what are you geeked about this week?
Geeked and in my corner of the internets are a couple cool things. On Friday, I'll be playing some more Skyward Sword over at my channel, That Other Pond. And on Saturday, we are continuing the D&D campaign that I'm DMing at 7 p.m. EST there. And then we'll be back here, and that's going to be really fun. Actually,
I highly recommend Pond's D&D game Saturday night. I will try to remember to get down here and host it because it is a lot of fun. It is really fun to watch you run the game because you and I have slightly different story styles, and it's neat to see the way you run a game because it's it's got a lot of wonderful grit.
Oh, thank you.
You've got a lot of really, I mean, it's the few times I've gone, wow, this took a dark turn. And then I watched for a few moments and went, no, it did not take a dark turn. There were
It
no
just is.
turns. This
Yeah.
is just what they do. Okay, cool. And your
Yeah.
players are so invested. Like, they all are really geeked. So it's a fun
Yeah.
stream to watch.
Yeah, and Saturday is going to be a little extra special, so it should be really fun.
Do we get a hint why it's going to be extra special? Exclusive?
Well, none of my players are here, so an NPC might be coming to life. So should be fun.
Tell your friends.
That's
Molly, how are things in the Mollyverse?
Busy, but good. I think this weekend I should be able to stream. I'm hoping for it. So since we moved our other group to next weekend, I'm gonna hopefully stream on Saturday, and then on mine and a couple friends' Discord channel, we do Star Trek on like watch parties, Star Trek Next Generation watch parties on Sunday mornings. So if you want to come join in on our Discord, feel free to do that. And then I'm going to be doing more embroidery this weekend, so that'll be fun.
I have to pop by just to see your setup.
Yeah, I got a second webcam. I fully was trying to make a dog cam, but my dog does not sit still, so now it's an embroidery cam.
That's so cool, though. That is really, really neat. And I think that's where we're gonna wind down. I'm gonna hit the close on the raffle. We're gonna give away some stickers, and I get to send stickers to Molly.
I never win anything, yay!
I think if I do this, does that do it? Okay. Prize assigned. Complete. And now it's finished. Okay, yeah. We'll talk in Discord. We'll send you some stickers.
Awesome.
And this will be really cool. And then I'm going to update. Well, actually, I've got Barovia back there, but I have to update my usual stream background and start playing some more of my stuff in it. Which, unfortunately for me, means I have to get it, put it in the area, take the picture of it, and then upload it as my new background. Because I do everything on a green screen. Because I'm lame that way. But yeah, Molly got it, which is cool. And thank you guys for coming out tonight. My next stream is going to be tomorrow at shortly after 5 o'clock. Happy hour is going to start a little bit late. We didn't do it Tuesday because I've got my in services, but I'm going to get out of there on time tomorrow. We are talking, I have no idea what we're talking about tomorrow. Gray and I are just going to talk about old school D&D and all the crap we've put up with over the years. He's been dying to talk about gatekeeping. So that might be where we end up going with our conversation. You just got to come by at 5 o'clock and find out what we're doing. And then Sunday night, we're going to be continuing to dive deeper and deeper into into whatever happens with the Curse of Strahd. They're ready to face, they're ready to head to the castle at this point, I think, which has me thrilled and terrified for them. So I'm going to find a place to send y'all so you can hang out for the rest of your evening with some awesome people, because I happen to know a lot of awesome people. I'm actually going to ship you over to Dork Tales, who are deep into the Shards of Nirm. They're actually on West Coast time, so they're not going to be too far along in their game tonight. And you will definitely have a good time. They're an amazing group of players, cosplayers, storytellers. It is going to be a hoot and 3/4. Feel free to join our Discord if you want to ask some questions about the game tonight. We're always welcoming bodies over there. And if you ever see me streaming and it's not a D&D stream, I am easily distracted. I am not afraid to hit pause and say, yeah, let's take some time to talk about that Steel Defender your Artificer just made, because I think you're calculating the hit points wrong. And I may or may not have spent half an hour during a Celestia stream dissecting the player's handbook. So we'll catch everybody next time. Until then, just remember, you want advantage on that con save now more than ever. So if you haven't gotten it, get it. If you don't really want to get it, cover it. If you don't want to cover it, just back up for a while. We're almost done. And I want to see everybody. I want our next live game in person at Gen Con 2022. It will be an event. We will all be there. Till then.